What you know about shop down a square and ridge? What you know about river? What you know about bridge? She said when you're worldwide, New York and big. From Florida to Canada, Jamaica. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me, I remind them. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me when you see me. From the top of the hill to the valley city, we gon' slide. Give a nigga enough rope, him serving my cowboy. Beans got the 9 greens, got the 4-5. In a real life, like no, yo. Back to the mission, I done linked up with my cousin. Live in the flesh, burner, got the buzz off. I ain't got number love, that's how we show love. But yeah, around now, I'm walking with a shovel. You know, see what I want, you know, the whole place turn up. People dead all early morning, the thing corrupt. Straight to the arrow, now bending, now borrow. And it's so sad to tell you that there ain't no tomorrow. Sand in the glass of an hour, lose your life in a minute while it's ticking and it's clicking like a power. He done lost his brain, the whole marrow. Eyes like a sparrow, stay focused on whatever. Anything moving too clever to my cheddar. Just another situation, I gotta set her. I'ma always know that I gotta do better. So I'ma always keep my meditation one level. Yeah, St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. What you know about shop down a square and ridge? What you know about river? What you know about bridge? She said when you're worldwide, New York and big. From Florida to Canada, Jamaica. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me, I remind them. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me when you see me. From the top of the hill to the valley city, we gon' slide. Give a nigga enough rope, him serving my cowboy. Beans got the 9 greens, got the 4-5. In a real life, like no, yo. Back to the mission, I done linked up with my cousin. Live in the flesh, burner, got the buzz off. I ain't got number love, that's how we show love. But yeah, around now, I'm walking with a shovel. You know, see what I want, you know, the whole place turn up. People dead all early morning, the thing corrupt. Straight to the arrow, now bending, now borrow. And it's so sad to tell you that there ain't no tomorrow. Sand in the glass of an hour, lose your life in a minute while it's ticking and it's clicking like a power. He done lost his brain, the whole marrow. Eyes like a sparrow, stay focused on whatever. Anything moving too clever to my cheddar. Just another situation, I gotta set her. I'ma always know that I gotta do better. So I'ma always keep my meditation one level. Yeah, St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me, I remind them. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me when you see me. Tomato, potato, better you getting it yourself or you ain't getting no help. Now I'm playing the cards that I'm dealt. You don't know what I felt. I done seen bodies drop to the dirt, and I don't wanna see another murder. Every day and night a Gleaner, Jamaica observer. Every day them keep pushing me further. One thing for sure, me know two for certain. They wanna lock us up behind iron curtain. Building more prison and then building more church. They ain't never gonna value my worth. No more freedom to move as we were. I promise these waves of life I'm gonna surf. All fun and games till somebody get hurt. Or even worse, now somebody had burst. Living these days is crazy, I swear. Yeah. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me, I remind them. St. Mary Jobs, a lot of my place. Until Oberlin, that are my best. Havana and Kansas, bring you ever lively. So no worry about for me when you see me. What you know about bad and unity? Tell me what you know about Temple Hall and Golden Spring. Press gas, so my gang go and do me thing. Me auntie, me uncle, me cousin, them on the hill. Bricks them up all and I build the breeze chill. Farming from early morning side till yow. Fred and Burner, you don't know, we say big up Belmont, Paisley, Tavan, Luna, Grantil, Oberlin. You don't know when I'm on the 14 parishes of Jamaica, Cut and Clare. We say big up St. Andrew and St. Mary.
I say you're never gonna get me down. Trip that I love to take, and every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. can call it to what you want to. I just love my chilling time. I get a thrill like every day, sitting here and watching the children play. I read them a book and I tell them stories. You should hear the things they say. And every time somebody greets me, says hello, I take it easy. I say hello now, how you feeling?
Wagwan Melverton, long time, son, long time ain't see you, fam. Out of the Masterman crew in New York. I see you, Miami.
It's a trip that I love.
I see Broward County, Wagwan, Kevin.
And every time that I make this journey,
got a special show for y'all today. What up, Juanito?
the way, peace of mind is a holiday.
King Tub, large up. Massive in Jamaica was popping.
And every time,
Everybody, we got a special one for you. Trust me, trust me, trust me.
just blows.
Other side of the microphone, we like to call it, don't you?
There's no reason to get upset. Just says to do your part and he's gonna do the rest. Don't hurt your heart, it only causes stress. You may not realize it, but you're truly blessed. And I know sometimes it's hard. You've worked all day and you don't see rewards. Come on, my brother, let down your guard. Aim for the skies, you might just reach the stars. I know it's money that you're trying to make, but if you're tired, you should take a break. It's not worth it if you break down. There's just a way too much. Whoa, I say you're never gonna get me down. Oh no. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. It's such a blessing to be alive in this world that we all reside. And you can call it to what you want to. I just love my chilling time. I get a thrill like every day, sitting here and watching the children play. I read them a book and I tell them stories. You should hear the things they say. And every time somebody greets me, says hello, I take it easy. I say hello now, how you feeling? You be safe, it was a pleasure meeting you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a vibe for you, trust me.
That I love to
Tell your friends to tell their friends.
and every time
Join us right here.
my journey, it just blows
Yes, man.
away. There's no reason to get upset. Just says to do your part and he's gonna do the rest. Don't hurt your heart, it only causes stress. You may not realize it, but you're truly blessed. And I know sometimes it's hard. You've worked all day and you don't see rewards. Come on, my brother, let down your guard. Aim for the skies, you might just reach the stars.
Wagwan.
Money that you
They
try,
got a massive right now.
but if you
Listening in from Jersey City.
break,
I see Cali's rocking with us.
if you break down,
San Diego's here.
way too much at stake. Take a vacation if you want to. Spend some time with the ones that want you to be okay, because they love you. Oh my God, I said I wanna thank you. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey, it just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make my journey, it just blows my mind away. Whoa, whoa, I say you're never gonna get me down. Oh no, take a vacation if you want to. Spend some time with the ones that want you to be okay, because they love you. Oh my God, you gon' just wanna thank you.
Just me.
Mine is a holiday, and it's a trip that I love to take. And every time that I make this journey,
ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. We getting in.
It just blows my mind away. Peace of mind is a holiday.
This is Wayne Wonder saying J. Cole, legal businessman. Bang, bang, boom.
I me say this a protege, eh? Homegrown with G Cole, what you say, eh? We make them know what reggae music we a play, eh? Hey, this is protege, the one and only representing for G Cole, you know. Check it, he's out.
And we say them not got no style like we. G Cole, them not got no style like we. None of them no wicked, nor wild like we. Accurate, Kabaka Pyramid representing for the #1 selector and radio host. It's all about G Cole, keep it locked. Accurate.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Kali. I'm hanging out with your boy G Cole on the Homegrown Show.
Yes. Welcome one and all. That is Homegrown G Cole coming to the Massive and Crew live right now across the globe. Gotta big up everybody listening in on radio. My people over there in Europe, Royal Zion Hannes Radio. Thank you so much. Real Vibes Live, Large Up, Rubber Ranks Radio, everybody. All right. Gotta big up the folks watching live on Jamaicans.com. Those watching in on the Homegrown G Cole platform is a vibe. We got a dope conversation coming your way right about now. You don't know the thing set up already. We always try to take it from all angles. All right. Before we get in, I gotta say, of course, thank you. Much love. Respect, large up, all that good stuff to all my essential workers, man. All those people on the front lines putting in the work for us. Nurses, doctors, paramedics, first responders, everybody. Those people working in the ERs, those people in pediatrics, radiology. Thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Mental health professionals, thank you all so very much, all right? We need you, if not now, more than ever, all right? Again, big up everybody watching in Large Up, Melverton, Large Up. Good to see you. Cheryl, what's up? What's up? Joy, what's up? North London's in the building. Big up everybody listening in right now in the UK. Thank you all so much. Again, all kind of things to talk about. A lot of times we get in, we talk with the artists, we talk all kind of things. You know me, I be wilding out sometimes. I ain't lying. You know how things go. Sometimes if it does go on, we got to get buck wild up in here and create some ruckus. But of course, we do take the opportunity every now and then to educate the masses on some stuff going on. We talk to the artists all the time. We talk about the music all the time, but there's many sides to it, all right? A lot of times the sides that we need to pay attention to, oftentimes we don't, especially artists, musicians, producers, people who consider themselves a part of the industry and inside the industry. There's a lot of things we ain't doing right and a lot of things we could improve upon. So today, we're going to have a dope conversation, all right, with a multi-Billboard recognized songwriter, musician, multi-Grammy nominated. We could go on, man. You know what I mean? The man resume up on a flash drive. I saw the thing set up. I saw it long. You know what I mean? We couldn't go paper on him. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna talk to Mr. Vision Alexander. A lot of y'all know him as Vision, the writer. And we're getting in big things. So tell your friends to tell their friends that this is where it's going to be. All right, large up Echo Slim, large up Empress, Yvette Marshall, everybody. All right. If you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast, remember the podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, Radio.com, YouTube, wherever listening to podcasts, we're there, right? We talk to some great people. We listen to some great music. We talking some things today. When we get off of the thing today, y'all gonna be a little bit sharp at vision. I tell you something. Enough time I come out to them conversation, I'm dumber than I go in. Sometimes, you know what I mean? You ever have some conversation, you lose some brain cells in them conversation there? So I'm trying to make up for that. I'm trying to make up for that. I'm trying to educate the masses today. What up, Tamara? Listen, Amsterdam's in the building right about now. I see New Zealand rocking with us. What's up? But we going straight in. Introduce my guest. Me know the tired of me, so you don't know the things that are my brother.
Wagwan.
Chano.
Fort Lauderdale.
Easy.
Tamarack. We there.
Easy. First of all, thank you so much, sir, for taking the time out to come vibe out and wild out with us.
Oh, no. Brother, you don't even know how this, thanks for having me, cause this is home team, you know what I'm saying? I do so many interviews around the world, but to do one home, this is everything, you know what I'm saying? To be able to, this is everything, so thank you for having me.
Pleasure, brother.
You know what I'm saying? Get to talk to the people.
Funny you mention home team, right? A convo I've had for years now, right?
Yeah.
Is for say, Jamaica, a couple of miles from here, right? Literally.
Yeah.
Right? Hop on a flight, you home in an hour, right? But yet still, we've seen some success stories. We're talking about artist stories, right? Yeah. We've seen success stories from New York. You know, you'll find your craniums. I don't get me wrong, they're all based in Jamaica really, but from Shaggy, Cranium, whatever, Glen Washington, if you want to go roots and whatnot. and then you have your London stories, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Other parts of the diaspora. And I've always felt like Miami, SoFlo, South Florida, Fort Lauderdale has struggled to establish a successful reggae or dancehall. People would have thought that it would have been easier for us because of how close we are, right? Over the years, have you seen that? And if so, what do you think is the reason why we struggle so much in establishing, breaking out a reggae or dancehall star from SoFlo?
Well, I mean, South Florida being one of the biggest markets, like for reggae music, you know what I'm saying? I mean, apart from California, them take over the reggae scene.
Yep.
So I don't know if it's a thing where, because we are here and Jamaica is right there, it's like we just take it for granted. So many people are like, man, I don't have to be excited. I can go to Jamaica and I can go see my favorite artist. And then the attitude is like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I always say that here in South Florida, we should have more festivals. There should be more reggae festivals all over South Florida. The same way how you have all of those big reggae festivals in California. They have to have them here.
Right.
You know? Normally when it comes to a touring sector, like you notice that most of the artists, especially in dancehall, they would touch Florida one time, but then they'd mostly do the tri-states. So they'll now be the Connecticut, the New York, you know what I'm saying, the Boston, and they'll bounce from there to there, and then maybe go to Cali. Where I would love that Florida would be more of a spot where people are like, okay, we're going to do something in Miami, then we're going to go to Fort Lauderdale, then West Palm, and then maybe go to Jacksonville. So we need more of that because there's so much of us here as Jamaicans.
Right.
But I think it's just us as the diaspora here, we need to demand that more.
Wow.
We need to speak to the promoters and let them know that we want more festivals. We want more of that type of stuff here in Florida. Because this is really should be a reggaeton. Florida should be a reggaeton. Like you, if any like any music that breaks into America should really break in Florida first. I know New York is this place where you break it first, but it really should be Florida, in my opinion.
Just based on proximity.
Yeah, based off of that and just based off of the fact that everybody comes here. Like this is the melting pot.
Right.
You know, this is Florida, like, you know.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. That's another convo I've had, and it's amazing to hear you speak of a correlation right now between the festivals and the successful artists, right? Because illusions and is everything, and it's a part of the game. It ain't just music, it's everything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We need them illusions, the smoke and the mirrors is part of the game.
Yeah.
So folks get to the little club spots and whatnot, which don't get me wrong, wherever they come to show you love, they come to show you love.
Yeah.
Right? But we're talking about them festivals. When you see the festivals right now, it stops about Jupiter. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And they're small festivals too, you know, but nonetheless, we don't even have a Janus Live. You know what I mean? We have the Culture Room, which is 750 people.
Yeah.
But it is the spot where we go to see some things. And on occasion, I don't even know if they still have Kaya Fest, which can't even necessarily be considered a festival per se, but the closest thing to it.
Yeah.
But I think there's so much fact, the way you just said a while ago, is where the festivals are. Just based on numbers and metrics alone, festivals is there's a lot more people coming in, right? So where the festivals are is where the traction is. Where we are with the little club vibes and whatever, then we're not seeing no traction. So I think there's facts to where I'm saying that's something.
And also the promoters, it's ego too.
Yeah.
The promoters need to come together and be like, yo, look now, let's do something very big for our culture. And at the end of it, let's make some money. So I think it's the ego as well. Because if we have so many amazing promoters out here in Florida, and I believe they came together and said, look, we're going to put Florida on the map when it comes to reggae music, when it comes to festivals, it can be done.
Wow.
But it's just ego. So everybody want to be the man.
Everybody wants to be the man.
Yeah.
And sometimes we think about it when we talk about entertainment. That's kind of what people come into it, right?
Yeah.
It's your culture then taught that you the man, so you the spotlight, right?
Yeah.
Unity is not necessarily something that we teach. No. But at the end of the day, I do see some unity. Sometimes we say, oh, the people are not united. This is some things that go on that makes me optimistic, right? But look at it this way. Let us tap into the artist, right? What the artists are doing or not doing, and where they're appearing, where they're not appearing. And we also tap into the promoters and stuff like that, right? There's a section in the reggae and dancehall thing where I say, I then get to it murder more time, you know. The fans, boy. The fans, right? Especially from our aspect of it. Jamaican music fans, we are so personal when it comes to the music, right? If the thing not right, we have everything to say about it. When Grammy time come, we have bonfire. First minister of fire bun in a long time, right? But are they supporting the music enough to where if these promoters did come together, if we did create these venues, could we rely on what we deem the fans of the diaspora, or we'd still be like, yo, we're going to need that Cali-based looking fan, the fans that don't look like us, that support the thing the most time. What do you think in regard to the fan base?
I definitely think the fan base doesn't do enough. You know, even from a streaming standpoint. You know, people love to go out. So if you promote something the right way, you have the right lineup, the right artists. I believe that people will find their way to the events. But at the end of the day, no, there has to be an appeal. Just like there has to be appeal in the music. You know, from the fan base, like I love the reggae fans. But if we're gonna talk about numbers, because numbers don't lie,
right?
Our numbers in reggae music is poor.
Yeah.
You know, when you compare to California, like they support their reggae artists. You know, we here in our diaspora we don't. Right. We might say I love the artist, but we don't really support.
Right.
You know, we don't do things that, okay, Spotify, we have subscriptions to Amazon and all these things take out of our account every month. It ain't nothing to have Apple Music taking out your money or Tidal, whatever. Right. And then you just know, say, okay, my favorite artist, let's just say it's Jesse Royal. Right. I'm going to stream Jesse Royal all day.
Right.
He has an album out now, let me put that out. Right. We don't do that. But then as you said, we're complaining. Yeah. And we'll make up all type of noise and XYZ. And it's not helping the industry. Right, and from that standpoint, it is not helping even promoters. Because at the end of the day, you know, when you want to, let's say, get a permit to keep an event or something, and you want the city to back you, and you want big money on board, they're going to look at it from the standpoint of like, well, it doesn't really make money, and they don't really want the numbers, and then
why am I getting involved?
Yeah, why am I getting involved? Like, this is not even a good flip.
Yeah.
So it's a thing where we as the fans, and I'm a fan too, we need to do better.
I love the fact, because again, sometime with Wall Street, so once the right artist with the right attitude come in Florida, nothing can stop it. That sounds to me right there like another optimistic fan, right? So, because here's what I realize. Sometimes people don't like the truth, you know?
True.
You know what I mean? We tell ourselves what we want to tell ourselves, right? At the end of the day, I'm 40 plus, I'm 44 years old, right? And the music then I saw Florida before me. So if we still wait on the right artist, then, I mean, we wait in vain, like Bob Marley said, because the right artist has come a lot of times. The amount of talents that come here, I actually had to leave to get that break. Yeah. So at the end of the day, the artist might not be able to say it, but me not afraid for the fans them, we dropping the ball.
Yeah.
Straight up.
We have to do better. We have to do, if we love this, because there's so much things that if we as the fans who love reggae music, if we don't start to do certain things, and we'll get into that more, like there's a lot of insight that y'all probably don't know what's going on beyond the scenes. But if we continue to still just treat our reggae music like, we have to understand that our Jamaican music is like our gold, our oil. You know what I'm saying? And it's come to the point now where we're just like looking at it like, sure, I can go pick up a gold nugget anytime I want because it grew over here. So. Yeah. But then what happens now, you have other genres that come to Jamaica and say, yo, look on the gold all over the ground.
Gone with it.
Me can't just go pick up this, nobody now say nothing. All right, let me go and build something yourself.
Facts.
And that's what's happening. And example, reggaeton.
Yeah.
Afrobeats. Yeah. Many genres have taken something from us and they are now powerhouse genres.
Right.
So that's our fault.
It is. And here's the deal. I love to start conversations like this, and that's all the reason I'm going. But first of all, we're talking to, you hear me say, Billboard acclaimed songwriter. We are talking about multi-Grammy nominated. So we ain't just talking to the homie down the street. It ain't Timothy, you know what I mean? I'm not just Kevin, right? We're talking to Vision, big up yourself, Kevin. We're talking to Vision the writer here, all right? And here's the thing. Let's talk in the whole Grammy thing there, right? Right? How we treat the music, so to speak. I have convo with people. I'm sure you have more of these convos than I do because you're way more on the inside than I am. In just the fact that we're on the verge of losing the Grammy category, totally right about, no, people are complaining about who will take the Grammy. If we don't play the cards right, next year there may be no reggae Grammy category.
Boy, you touch a topic that me I tell you like me never think you're going to say with it to the cause. Me I say boy, me never want to bring it up, but you know, yes, And it's the truth. A matter of fact, it's inevitable.
Right.
I mean, we've already seen what's happening with the Mobile Awards. You know, I mean, their reasons are different, of course, but at the end of the day, it was just so easy for them to say, let's dissolve this category that we've had for years and just throw all these Jamaican artists into, what them call it now, best world or international. And what you just said a while ago about the Grammys, I've heard it from the inside that the Grammys are actually considering it. Because the reason is they're looking at the votes. There's not enough voters. So they're looking at it and saying, okay, we have this genre that is not getting enough votes. There's not enough members. So it only makes sense to dissolve this category and then put this into world music. So when we think about world music now, you know who we are going up against? We are going up against Burna Boy, Wizkid. We are going up against the numbers. And in my opinion, we are not ready to go up against that from the number standpoint.
Nope.
You know? So it's something that is inevitable unless we change it. Like, I'd honestly say, like, are you a member of the Grammy?
Working on it, but I'm not yet.
You see? These are things that we have to do as Jamaicans. We have to become members.
Right.
You know? We have to. Like, if we want to save our music, if we want to keep that Grammy best reggae, we have to become members.
Right.
It's very important.
And even from the vantage point of how we make and put out our music too, because we have the hustle mentality. I mean, don't get me wrong, dancehall music, reggae music, we say it's been a singles-driven market, right? But at the end of the day, having these conversations and saying, okay, we need at least, throw the numbers out there, 200 albums nominated per year to maintain it, right?
Yeah.
And this music, what we say, the biggest thing, I was reading an article that said that a survey was done on reggae music is the
top 10
most listened music or shit, not say listen, loved music in the world, but yet still it does not equate to the numbers that we're looking for. It's also because we ain't putting out albums. You know what I mean? We drop a lot of these things and there's no category for best reggae song. It's a category for best reggae album. A majority of the people who are not putting out albums have more than albums worth of music. So even just the way we approach it too, with our hustle mentality, is almost like not thinking about it on the grand professional world stage and world scene like we should. I think it's a mindset where we're really happy, and that's where people like yourself come in. You know what I mean? For kind of rid those people of the backyard mentality, so to speak.
Yeah, because saturating the genre is not working.
Too much.
It's you put out 100 songs and them don't add up to one.
Right.
And then you have one big genre artist come out and do one song and doubles your numbers. Yeah. So it goes down to math, you know? Yeah. So it's like when I do work with artists, I tell them straight up, say, yo, look now, me there for win. I know that you talk about, oh, music is not a competition, it's a mission. Yeah, but the mission is also to win.
Right.
Because you as an artist I'm working with, I want to see you number one on the charts. I want to see you close the show.
Right.
Because if you close the show, that means you're getting more money for your show.
Right.
So that means you have to have a winning mentality. You have to have an attitude like, I'm the best. And the only way we can be the best is to make the best music.
Jano.
You know? So you want to sit down and make 100 songs. Vision make 100 songs. I'm not with it.
Right.
Let's make one.
One good record.
Let's make one good record. And, you know, I grew up in the music here in Florida amongst John FX.
Right.
You don't know Warren Blows, Morgan Heritage, like they taught me the game. And John FX said in an interview the other day, even when it comes to structure of songs, chorus, hook, pre-hook, outro, intro, like these are the things that we have to really concentrate on when making the music.
Yep.
You know, if we want to compete.
Right.
So anybody that I work with, I preach that. I'm like, I'm not just here to make a song. You could have paid me as much money as it.
It don't make sense.
I don't make no sense because I'm not going to make a song so that in the next 3 weeks, yo, Vision want to make another one. You see, I want us to treat each song like a small business.
Mad.
We invest in it, we grow it. They say it normally takes 3 months to really see if a song is going to break. I want us to try to run this song for a year. And let this song be the backbone to the upcoming album or EP.
Right.
So we're not saturating the market with a bag of tune.
Yeah.
We're making songs that are going to last for years. That's why Bob Marley's on the charts till this day and can't come off.
Can't come off, if you try to get him off.
You know?
You know, there's a word floating around, quality, right? And again, that's a word too where it's pretty relative. You know, when I speak of quality, a lot of time we're talking about the production quality. But we also do know that sometimes the most successful song ain't necessarily best produced. The best produced song ain't normally always the most successful.
Facts.
But there's certain formulas. I've realized that, like you mentioned just now, the amount of time it takes to push and promote a song. The avenues by which you need to push it and promote it, right? The sonics. People talk about the Grammy every single day, not realizing that the Grammy recognizes the recording quality more than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's just little things like those. But when we talk about quality, a lot of time I think people think of a quality artist versus quality music. It don't matter how quality the artist want to be if him now make quality music. It doesn't matter how great his talent level is. If the music that is putting out ain't up to par, nothing gonna come of it.
Nothing.
And I think sometimes we get so lost in fandom that we don't hold our artists accountable. I am not going to tell anybody say I have 500,000 Shaggy records by stream, right? But I'm not going to lie to you and say, yo, me have a bag of Shaggy album. No, maybe one, maybe two, right? Me not going to tell you say me have a bag of me have about 3 Sean Paul album, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all of the major players that I can think of that have impacted the market and the world great in the past however many years, there's certain quality standards that they adhere to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that includes what you were speaking of just now, which is the process and how to push these records and how long we gonna push them. Remember like Elephant Man? Before Elephant Man became commercially successful, he was doing what everybody else did. A tune a week. You know what I mean? That producer have one, that producer got one. Once he became commercially successful, what he do? Put out an album. How long him a push Pon the River? That's for ages, right?
Yeah.
And that song grew him to whatever he grew to be. The fact is, you can't get away from the formula.
That's the thing. Them try to create this new thing that everybody thinks, yeah, I'm going to do it a different way, Ray. But the truth is that if your numbers are not reflecting, no matter what you want, come try change the game to. You need to take heed from the elders in the industry. You have to. You know, it starts from the root.
Right.
You know, and many of these young artists, young producers, we have to see that and understand that there's a formula, you know.
Right.
And even if it's not within our own genre, we have to look at other formulas like maybe, okay, look how reggaeton just grew them thing and take something from us and look where them they know.
Yeah.
You know, you talk about the Grammys, like even for instance, in my opinion, we talk about the Grammys and big up the Grammys. I believe Massacre should have gotten nominated.
Right. In this
category,
album.
yeah. I believe Massacre's album was the best album out of Jamaica.
Wow.
In my opinion.
And that's a dancehall album.
That's a dancehall album. But let's talk about numbers. His numbers were the best. He was on the Billboard charts for the longest. You know, that's not easy to do as a dancehall artist.
Yep. Without a major push.
So big up to Massacre, big up to all the producers and his team.
Right.
But you know what happened? There's not enough voters. Massacre has a lot of fans. But there's not enough voters to say, you know what, we're going to vote for him. And this is where it becomes a competition.
Wow.
Where Massacre's fans could have said, you know what, we're all going to become members and we're going to rally behind a Massacre album. We're going to vote to make sure he get nominated. That's why. Because the Grammys, they don't base it off of sales.
Right.
It's quality and it's many other things. But it's about votes.
It's votes, politics.
It's votes. It's straight votes.
Yeah.
So them type of thing that hurt me. Because I believe Massacre should have been nominated, but the reason why he wasn't is because he never had the votes.
And that's an every year thing.
And the thing about it, Massacre has many fans. Many artists in Jamaica have many fans around the world.
Right.
What we need to start doing as artists and producers, you need to start telling your fans, if you really love me, do the things like this, get my numbers up.
Yeah.
You know, go subscribe.
Right.
Do certain things because that's going to make us be a winning team, you know what I'm saying, as an artist and you as my fans.
Right.
That's how I'm going to really win and be able to push these things. Like, even from a standpoint of me as a writer, I go into many meetings with labels, with A&Rs, and when we're talking about me, I look forward to the budget them.
Right.
You know? Because so me get my money.
Right.
So when them talk about reggae now, the budget is small. So I'm like,
yeah,
I could put 100,000 in this now.
Right.
That 100,000, the artist, if I go shoot video, them if I go do that, how am I gonna pay me?
I'm buy Gucci belts.
You know. But then it hurts because then I'm from a business standpoint, I understand why they're not investing because they're looking at like this is not a good return.
Yeah.
Why am I going to put $500,000 into an artist or into a genre when it's not going to help me flip because their fan base is not supportive? the artists are not really making the right decisions in terms of, okay, when to drop a song, the structures. So from the investment standpoint, we're not really getting it. So that hurts me and you as the people beyond the scenes, and it hurts the artists as well. Because you'll have an artist, I used to work in a company that know the numbers with certain things. You'll have a video, one artist will have a video for probably $500,000 just to shoot a video.
Right.
The good days when somebody, a reggae album might only have $50,000 to use to try to make their album.
Right. Including the video.
And promote it.
Right.
So then it hurts us, because when you think about it, and that's why I may have to big up every Jamaican artist, because when you think about some of the budgets that we're working with, but they're still able to put out music and still have us be able to play it, it's a lot of work. People don't know what's going on behind the scenes of an artist, you know.
Yep.
If you're given $50,000 and people might say, blood,
I love money that.
It's not.
Nope.
But you're still able to shoot your videos. But imagine if we were able to make our genre more marketable to the point where people will invest more. That means that artists can now shoot more videos with the 4K, with the Red, with the Alexa Mini cameras, shooting it at 8K.
Wow.
We can do more, link with more program directors to get it on every show like yours. There's more things that can happen, so the world can be like, wow, look how reggae music videos look. Look how the quality sound. Who
be
mixed
up in
that?
the industry standard with
Be
the
up
major
in
players.
that industry where they're like, okay, well, we see you reggae music.
Yeah.
Because it take money. So that is the mindset that we have to have as artists, producers, all around the board, that this take money.
Wow.
And you need investors to do it sometime. But an investor not gonna put no money in something if him not gonna make it back.
And this is not just music. This is business at large. No matter what it is, ain't nobody investing in nothing when I turn on.
All right. And the next thing that every artist and producer need to hear this, you know, you probably hear this many times, but hear it again from me. This game is 95% business, 5% talent.
Yep.
There is no way around it. I don't care what nobody want to tell me. It is 95% business. With the camera them, they look upon me good. And 95% business.
And this ain't reggae. We're talking about the music business.
We're talking the music business in general. There's times when I used to be like, sure, that song they play on the radio every hour of the hour. It not even sound good. I'm used to when I'm young and ignorant. But I get to realize now as I got more into the business, you know what? His business is good.
Yeah.
Because he's found a way to get his song played on the hour every hour.
Right.
So his business is really strong. Yeah, the song might not sound all that good, but guess what? I know that melody.
And by the time them done program it there,
We know it.
you know it.
You know? So it's just like, we don't have to overstand, say, if we're not going to do this music thing, if we don't want us to do music, set up a mic in a closet and just go do some music with a friend them and they say, well, do some music, you know, we're going to post it on Instagram and have a good time.
Right.
But if you really want to do music business, understand about publishing, copyright, contracts, you know, you need to really understand this aspect of the business. No matter what role you play in the industry, even from a program director, you have to know the business.
Yep.
If you don't know the business, it's going to be very hard for you. And at the same time, you're not going to know what direction to go. So even from the standpoint of, okay, we want to make an album. If you don't know your business model, if you don't understand the business, what kind of album are you going to make? You're just going to make a bag of songs. Because you have to understand at the same time, there's something called market share. You know, what are you presenting in the market share of our industry? Many people were upset about Soulja winning and the California. Now I was there at the Grammys.
Yep.
And it hurt me because, you know, I was there and Jesse and Sean and Jason were there thinking Jesse I go win it.
Right.
Soulja won. But then you don't think about it. Soulja sat down twice at those Grammy nominations and lost twice to the Marleys.
Yep.
But then you look at what Soulja brings to the market share of reggae music and most of the California artists. They bring up a large number of market share that makes reggae still marketable.
They contribute heavily.
They contribute a lot. And they also put artists on tour with them.
Yeah.
So when everybody ignorant and said, yo, you make them do it, we have to understand that it's business run this thing.
Yeah.
You know? So if anything you can hear from me for tonight is, I go stress 95% business.
Jono.
95% business. If you don't get that, you ain't gonna make it. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If y'all don't get that, you ain't gonna make it. You are gonna get robbed. You gonna get robbed in this business. You gonna be, let me tell you something.
Vexed for
Let me
life.
tell you something. It's a music business. We are gonna talk. We can talk it around and look on there. Yo, it's a music business. One of my dads them teach me this. Him say, yo, you see, if you want to throw money at something and out of love and not see it back, money and investing in a football club.
Wow.
You know? But you know, we as Jamaican, we love ball.
Yeah.
And we love music.
Yeah.
So when we get a little money now, want a soccer team, want to promote an artist, you throw money in it and guess what? You don't really see it back in a little time.
Right.
But if you understand the business, you'll understand that you're not making a risk, you're making a calculated risk when it comes to, okay, what I'm investing in the music. Because you understand the business.
Right.
You're not just throwing a bag of money. I can bet right now, half of una as artists and producers spend whole heap of money.
Yo.
And una can't say if una make it back.
Right.
Una still in the red.
Right.
But we want to be on our balances in the black. Enough of we still in the red. Me not lie, me in the red. You know? Me just start kind of see back a little. You know? Yeah. Me not hide and talk it. I just what day me can start buy some chain and them thing there and say, all right, music money I look good now, but me still in the red. You see me? But I had to educate myself to the business.
Right.
You know, there was a I remember I actually did class.
Right.
I invested in a 3-month course to learn about publishing, copyright, and everything there. I learned from an entertainment lawyer from Sony. He was doing a course. And I said, look, bro, I don't have no degree or I can't get no loan for good enough. How it go? Me pay your cash for this. And he must say, okay, come to my class. I said, how much have I pay you? Boom. I went there with my book, my notes. My homeboy Dan Ray was with me. And we sit down there and study. Do test everything. Because I knew that if I wanted to continue in this business, I'd have to understand the business. I had to understand the music business.
Right.
And I learned so much about copyright publishing that it saved me. And the reason why I can be Grammy nominated and Billboard this and that and the third, apart from just being talented at doing it, it's because of the business. I'll honestly tell the truth. If I never did that course or told myself I had to learn it, I wouldn't be no Grammy nominated person.
Right.
I wouldn't be no Billboard. No, I'll just be this guy from Florida that knows how to write songs, but he ain't got nothing under his name.
Right.
You know?
You know, I'm gonna tell you something. What I'm gonna rate. I appreciate the viewpoint is this. In everything we do, we get these little silly stories of how people break, right? Somebody come tell you some BS story, say, boy, did I walk past and happen to hear a song in a man's basement and just happen to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The stories that sound good. But at the end of the day, what you are talking about right about now, that's the real. Educate yourself. If you want to be an accountant, you got to go to school. If you want to do this, you got to go to school, right? So treat the music the same. What I love about what you do and how it relates to today's industry, all the things you talk about are aged methods. You know what I mean? The business, the business of music. It's the old age adage from long time. It's you learn from Gramps, you learn from the OGs, and you're dropping records with today's modern heavy hitters, right? Yeah. While following the formulas of yesterday, because the formula not change, right?
Don't change.
Let's talk Protege, for example, because you got some joints with Protege, right?
Yeah, man.
How did that connection come about? Did he pass and hear you in the... Nah, joke, my man. But... Because always some story. Yeah, I was in the basement, dog, and I was just playing. How did the connection with Protege come about?
Well, you know, say, in a different life, before I was into music,
right?
I actually met Protege through a third party, you know? So at the time, they call him OJ. I never met him. I should answer since I met him. No cap. I never met him, but he was at one of the spots that we used to run. You see me?
Right.
And the person said to me, yo, him name OJ. You know, he gonna be big. At the time, I never cared about no music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Being real.
Me never busy about no music. At the time, we out there, we doing it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, music. And I said, oh yeah, that's good for him. I'm happy for him. That's great, you know?
Yeah.
But when I think about it, to get into how I actually met him, I remember that day when I saw him in my house, waiting on somebody in the lobby right there. I'm in the hallway, and I remember seeing him, and you know, he was on the rise of becoming, like, he wasn't even big yet, but he was getting there, you know.
Right.
And it was, so since I met, that was probably like 10 years. So I said Protege again now. So I met Protege now officially. When I went to LA with Jesse Royal. Jesse Royal invited me to a writing camp that he had on his album Royal. So we first did a song called I did a song called Lion Order. You see me? Yeah, man, respect. Did a song called Lion Order. Jesse, people heard it, loved it. And then they were like, yo, this song, who wrote this song? Who did this song?
Right.
So they were like, whoever did this song, we want this person to be a part of the album going forward.
Right.
So that's when Jesse said, yo, forward with me, come to LA, let's build this album.
Right.
Big up to Jesse Royal. And Protege was there, surprisingly. So that's where I met Protege. You know, we chopped it up a little bit. And at the same time, he was working on his album, which was In Search of Last Time. In Search of Last Time. And he was working on the song with him on Coffee. Switch It Up. So he told me, yo, Vision, you want to come listen and hear what I go on, you know? And that's how that began. And from that relationship, we created the song, created the hook for the song, created, you know, and the vibe of it. And later on, he got back to me and said, yo, bro, I got Coffee on the record. It's going to be on the album. Let's continue working.
Right.
And from that, now, he introduced me to Leela. Started to work with Leela Ike. The song De Niro out right now. Yeah, man. You see me? That song me and Leela and Sean worked on.
Yeah.
Jazzalise, look out for Jazzalise.
Fire artist.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like from that now I just started to meet them and start to work with them because the vibe was just right. I like, you know, I love Protege's vibe and Protege's a real youth, like, you know, but now like as a writer, because many people, as a writer is not normally somebody supposed to be up in the forefront.
Right.
You know, I like to work beyond the scenes and just do my thing. But Protege really gave me the opportunity when he never had to.
Right.
Like there's one time he was on his live and he was debuting the song and I'm just watching the live and he's like, yo, big up to Vision, you know, he wrote on this song, and I'm like, whoa, you don't really see that happen. You don't expect that, you know? And then it's like from that now, it just kind of, people start to like, oh, wow, he Vision, and, you know, everything started to add up. You know, Jesse showed me enough love too.
Right.
But then Protege one time, he was at a show, and I'm on the stage watching him doing the show, and the man come over to me and give me the mic and say, yo, sing the song with you. Work on.
What?
You know?
What?
You know, and I'm like, you know, so right then I'm just like, what? Ready? You know? And we're singing in front of like 20,000 people, and just that type of love they were Protege show me always have.
He does give off the real energy.
Real, like, you know, you don't really, him not going to be out there and talk it, you know, but me just I keep it real, like him is a real individual. And I'm happy I met him, and thanks to Jesse for introducing me to Protege.
Right.
You know, that whole camp is a bunch of real individuals. Like, they're really serious about the music, and I've learned a lot from them. You know, I ain't going, you know, as much as I'm in the studio with them and we're making the music, I really peep game from them.
Wow.
Because
that's fire. That's fire. And again, what I love when people, a lot of musicians, a lot of artists, a lot of producers listen to the show, and what I love when they get from people like yourself is, I always say, there are those who do it, and there are those who do it well, right? No matter how you slice and dice, there's a right and wrong way to do stuff. Sometimes we try to trivialize the thing and be like, well, if it happen, no, right? It's just not. And you mentioned stuff like writing camps. You mentioned the formal aspect of it.
Yeah.
The talent part and the musicianship and the musician them and the studio vibe, that's all organic and it's all good, right? But to turn that flour, sugar, salt, and whatever into a cake, there's a formula for that. Yeah. And I love the fact that you guys are doing it well. And when I say do it well, I mean, when you speak of your processes right there, it's no different from when I hear the biggest R&B artists, the biggest pop artists, the Ed Sheerans, the Chris Browns, or whatever the case may be. It's the same approach they take. And that's the reason why the people that moved up on the top of the thing right about are the same names that you refer to, because they go about it the right way.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Jesse Royal, another one to where super talented, but me love him energy too. I had a interview with Jesse and Protege, and you know, I tell people this all the time. You see, when Jay-Z drop a record, I'm going to hear the record. I'm not necessarily going to sit down for the interview, right?
Yeah.
When 50 drop a record, I'm more likely to go get the interview than get there. You know what I'm saying? There's some people who just want to hear talk Jesse's one of the people sitting and listen to talk for the whole day. You know, I'm just the way how he emotes.
Yeah.
Protege a little bit more subdued and a little bit more cool and quiet, you know what I mean? But Jesse animated with it. So,
Yeah.
but I love the whole energy with the whole of them bring to the table. And I think they are the future for that reason. Not just the fact that they're talented, but because of their approach to the game. I love the fact that you take the same approach, bro. And that's the reason why you got the accolades to your name, and they didn't fall out of trees. You say you're going to invest in anything, right? That money they will spend a night, you could have get 2 girls and go on the road and have a good time.
Hell of a good time.
Hell of a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you went ahead and did what you had to do, and here we are right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When we talk about the industry itself, something I always ask, especially the OGs, right? If I handed you the keys to the industry right about now, what are you changing? Straight up off the bat.
Which part of the industry though?
The reggae, our thing, Jamaican music.
I would try to find a way where in Jamaica they can be more interactive when it comes to like Spotify, you know. I'd want to have more of that. It's hard because, you know, with the credit cards, and we're not really like that in Jamaica where you know. But I would also love that there is more. I would try to make more powerhouse labels set up shop in Jamaica. Like you go to other countries, like you'd have a Universal Guyana, you know, you'll have a Sony Denmark.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel you.
I would love for something like that to be in Jamaica, like Sony Jamaica. You know, and set up shop there.
Right.
And I think that will also like probably show the artists and the people, like, okay, them set up shop down here, and there's a certain way to get in the door.
Yeah.
You know, and if you get in that door, that's to the world. Because this is a major label, and you'll start to understand more about distribution and everything.
Right.
So that's something that I would enhance, I want, but it goes back down to why aren't these labels doing that? Because they're looking at it like, does it make sense to even build a building? You know? And that's the hurtful part.
Yeah.
Because
From a patriotic
you know,
standpoint,
like we're not even worth you building a building.
Yeah.
Not even you're not even a room, not even, you know, like even a classroom to say, you know what, this is the office of, you know.
Yeah.
They don't even see that.
No value.
And that is what we'll have to change.
I'm gonna tell you this. I've spoken to people. I have people across me from the little ones all the way up to 80-some years old, the OGs. I ain't never heard nobody mention that. And I'm gonna tell you something. I think that's the most profound thing. Yes, that when I think about it here and you speak right now, you got a Universal, UK, you got Universal, independent, like I said, Denmark, independent spots, small countries in Europe, they still have them set up, right? Africa, wherever the case may be. You mentioned Guyana right about now. I'm thinking to myself, damn, you're right. Nobody. How come there's never? And we're talking about, we've had the likes of Shabba, we've had the likes of Cabra, and a lot of people who dabbled. You know what I mean? The crossover aspect of it. Capleton at one point in time. But you're right, nobody ever set up shop in Jamaica. And I think that would encourage people to look at it the way you look at it, right? The mainstream. I think it takes away the backyard approach. You know what I mean? Because we're kind of taught the hustle and the backyard vibe at home, right? And then think that is a miracle make a la Sean Paul, and of course we chalk it up to whatever. You know, I'm light skin, him this, him that, and whatever the case may be. Sean follow the freaking formula. I'm sorry. That's what I saw.
You definitely
you know what I mean?
did.
Shaggy follows the formula. All right? Cranium follow the formula. If you just want to keep it a buck, right?
Yeah.
But there's reasons. What are the reasons why the music is not as lucrative as it ought to be? And by that I mean comparing apples to apples. The biggest hip hop artist, the biggest R&B artist, the biggest pop artist, the biggest dancehall artist, the biggest reggae, they're not on the same plane, right? The other genres, they're equally there, maybe off by a couple numbers here and there, you know what I mean? But if we put our biggest name, Alive, Bob, we're not count Bob, right? Alive up against one of theirs in terms of stuff, it's just not the same worth per se. What's the deal? What's causing stuff like that?
Our numbers.
Straight up.
Yeah, our numbers. We're not interactive enough. You know, it's just that we're not interactive.
Right.
Like, I grew up in a ball. My father used to play professional ball, so I'm gonna use only different metaphors and similes. You know, so we as Jamaican culture, we are the midfielder of the music industry. All we've ever done is just distribute the ball.
Wow, back and forth.
And whole heap of people score.
Right.
But nobody ever talk about who passed the ball to make that score.
Damn.
We're taking the free kicks, we're taking the corners.
God. Bro, I ain't never heard it put like that.
Yeah.
You probably 95 years old and in the quiet. I'm gonna know. But come out there and say, a big man thought that. God no.
You see me?
Facts.
That's what it is. And we're too comfortable with being the midfielder. You know? We're too comfortable.
We need to go strike.
We need to go strike. But we have to know how to strike.
Right.
Okay, growing up in the forward now and
Be a brokey booty.
yeah, you know what you do. Be a salad and pile until a defender broke your foot and your career done. But
Still no score one.
you know, but that's the issue. Like, we are the distributors and we have to take pride in that. Because many genres can't go around and say that Jamaican music has been an influence to them.
Yeah.
Even if it's from dancing, if it's from the way we dress or we talk. Like, you go to England right now, like, yeah, them say England a white man country, you know, but if you go to London, a Jamaican culture on the road.
Very much so.
You know what I'm saying? You watch Top Boy and them show that you say, I just beer our slangs.
Yeah.
Big up England. I'm from Birmingham, so I talk as a British man, you see me?
Man. London's a rainy Kingston.
So it's like our culture in every aspect has had influences, even in grime music. Everything. So what's that? That's a distributor, though. We just pass the ball to them and they might make millions. Reggaeton. You have our name, reggaeton, big reggae. That's what it mean. We pass a big ball gear and you're gone with
And
it.
you score.
And you score to the point that them have them own Grammys.
Jano.
You know what I'm saying? You know, so it's like we have to stop thinking that it's okay to just be the distributor, right. Because it's not really getting us anywhere. It was cool, but if we were making a certain amount of numbers, back to your question, like the reason why, because we don't have the numbers, we have to start like taking more pride in that, and at the same time feel kind of embarrassed at the fact that we're doing this thing and we're still not making certain numbers and we're still not getting certain investments and endorsements, and we've created one of the greatest artists in the world, Bob Marley. You know? Talking about Bob Marley, like, reggae music, like a lot of people say reggae music can't change, and reggae music can evolve. You know, once Bob Marley, there's always going to be a Bob Marley, reggae music will never change from a standpoint of its culture, its image, everything. Right. But that doesn't mean that we can't fuse reggae music with a little bit of Afrobeats. That don't mean we can't fuse a little bit of rock. Right. You know? It doesn't mean that we're watering down the music, you know? Right. In Jesse's album, we use a lot of trap elements, a lot of 808s, along with our reggae drum and bass. But at the same time, now, you have to also acclimate yourself to the sound now in music. Right. You know? Right now in music, people are not as interested in music as there once was. Like Beyonce dropped her album the other day and the numbers were okay, but not great.
Not Beyonce standard numbers.
And it's because of after Corona, people just, attention span is more like not really there. People are not really falling in love with the album like how they used to. So what's happening now is that people are more using music in a capacity of a sinking. So where you'd now say, I'm going to put that song up on my Instagram story live and make it play in the background when I drive my Benz. Or TikTok, which has helped dancehall a lot. You know, TikTok really has helped dancehall because the dancing, but see the formula that's so it's called dancehall. So when you have your dance them and your dirt bounce and your thing them start go viral. So that's a formula that maybe we need to, understand that this is dancehall at the end of the day. Big up ding dong.
You can't dance the dancehall.
You have to, So it just goes to show you that, like, we need to be more interactive and we need to know that what's going to work now, especially that the game has really changed. And you just said it earlier. Hope, God forbid, the Grammys dissolve with the best reggae and the Billboard might dissolve too. You know? Yeah. And we can't have that.
Nah, especially since we look to, and I just call a spade, we look to their market for a lot of the support for us, because like we said, our people now really dive into that. And you know something, I question a lot of times too, if the whole credit card and all them kind of stuff, they not being as accessible, because when I speak to our people from long time till now, consuming reggae music via the bootleg methods and via hearing it from some public speakers has always been the way. I've literally heard people on the biggest platforms in Jamaica verbalize, and I was surprised that they did that straight up, said them to buy music, right? It's no different from when artists send me music, and I know the promotional aspect of it, you send it out, whatever the case may be, but a lot of the DJs too, you see, all right, a perfect example. Me have Leonardo. All right, I have Protege's albums on MP3s because they're people sending music to me.
Yeah.
Right. However, me don't pay $9.99 for Apple Music already. Me don't pay $12.99 for Tidal already. So when when me up on the air, wherever I am, where there's Wi-Fi, I stream.
Thank you.
Don't pay a fee already.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome,
I
bro.
appreciate it. Thank you.
It makes no sense to do it any other way. Now, if me up on the road, I'm on a Wi-Fi, then I different something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But I rarely have that problem because I'm not a DJ. But for the masses out there, I think the mindset more than anything else of purchasing the music ain't necessarily a thing that we've ever really subscribed to. That's why even from the Bob Marley days till now, whomever did sell records, the record sales weren't us. And never we are buy it.
I know we are buy it, yeah.
But the issue right now is the buying audience not buy it no more to some degree because of content. So one, people can't understand. That's why I'm going to give Sean Paul a lot of credit because if you can't sing the verses, damn it, you can sing the hooks. You know what I'm saying? Formula.
Yeah.
But how do you feel when you drive in your car or when you just hear music? Not from artists you work with or whatever the case may be, but somebody in the industry who, like you said, we have this patriotic thing about us where it hurts us to hear anything less than positive about home, right? And when we hear certain things, we know how it affects. When we see war going on a yard, we not just see it as war a yard. We say, damn it, how is this going to affect tourism? How is it going to affect the music consumption, whatever, right? But when you hear the music that's coming out right about now, how do you think it affects the consumers, the consumers that are not us? Because truthfully, them are the real consumers. The white people, the people across the globe where I buy the thing, who are buying it less now. Is it the content, or what do you think is the reason why they're consuming less of it?
I think the content as well. It's the music is not as it doesn't attract their ears like one time. You know, I tell people all the time before we make music is that you could bring in, this guy, he plays on this band and we have this producer. My whole thing is this: the music have a sound, it have to feel good.
Right.
I never went to Full Sail or any of these big schools where I can explain to you chord progression and
Right.
I just know what feels good because I'm a consumer. You know, I know what I want to listen to when I'm in the gym.
Right.
I know what song I want to dedicate to my woman.
Right.
You know, I know what feels good. So I bring that element into my music. So when I'm working with whoever and we play the song and I'm like, it just don't feel good. How you feel? Don't tell me that it feels good because we're in here for like 3 hours and the studio time is running and we just need to get a song done. Does it feel good to you?
Right.
Does it feel good to you? Does it feel good to you? No, let's start over. Because if it don't feel good, it's not gonna break through.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you could have all of these tactics and all that. That don't mean shit.
Right.
Sorry, I don't mean to curse. You know, it don't mean anything. Sometimes the best music comes from just buck-ups. Wow. You know, I think too deep about it. So I think with the music out of Jamaica now is like, the truth is when it comes to the dancehall music, and I see with the youth them, you know, because Jamaica is not the same Jamaica that I left. You know, Jamaica harder. You know,
Very much so.
Very much so. You know, it's like the youth them look upon what their future going to be right now. It's like when I went to school, I was in George. It's like a bar me player. And my dreams and aspirations was maybe to be a reggae boy, but maybe to come to America and get a scholarship, which I did.
Right.
You know, for play ball. And that was the mindset of most of us. I can honestly say that most of my peers who I went to school with, some of them passed away, but most of them are here.
Right.
Now in Jamaica now, it's like most of the youth, the younger youth, don't really see the hope. And that is why I don't promote scamming, but it's like the youth, now see it as what me going to do in a life.
Right.
Come out of high school and just can't get a job and just be regular. When you have opportunity, someone can try change my life. So then what happens now is that they put that in the music because that is what they're seeing. That is what they're seeing as hope. And it's unfortunate that is I don't support no illegal activity.
Right.
But then at the same time now the music has become a little bit more gritty. So to the consumers that are used to buying the music, they can't really relate. Like so for instance when Bob Marley did say Rockstone was my pillow. It sounded cool to the reggae, you know, but them not really understand what that
Yep,
mean.
yep.
But it was cool because Bob Marley used melodies and certain ways to make it be like, you know.
Feel good.
But now the music now is really like
Yeah.
the rock stone, yeah, real rock stone pillow, my head a bust open. That is how the music feel to them.
Graphic.
So you know as somebody know who live overseas and you know your reggae music and you're like hearing this graphic thing.
Damn.
Yeah, I said, Jesus.
I feel you.
And guess what? It real what am I say?
Yeah.
But
It's how you say.
But how can I relate?
Yeah,
I can't talk about my head a bust open pan. Is it like them can't relate? Them like I love reggae music and I want to support it, but I can't cap. I don't know what a rock stone feels like. So then what happens now when them can't really relate and the music is not feeling good? Then move on.
Yeah.
So now I don't really want to listen to reggae anymore. Or I'll stick to my whatever because I can't relate. It's too grit. So how do we solve that? Because you can't tell the youth them now, yo, sing about something happy no man. When them not happy. When them not happy.
Yeah.
How you for tell them that?
Facts.
But there has to be a balance where that's where the business comes in. Where we have to understand, say, okay, yo, I can't sing about right now, you know. I can't sing about love right now, you know, because my girl just broke my heart.
Right.
But I know say love song sell. So I have to find a way where I can still make a love song because, you know, I have to get there. And that is where the youth them now have to open up their mind and be like, this is a business.
Yeah.
You know?
Stop make tune for your
Yeah,
friend.
stop make tune for your friend them or sometimes how you feel what you're going through. That is good, you know.
Yeah.
But then you have to think about it worldwide.
Yeah.
And that shows real talent.
Wow.
That shows who's really an artist.
Right.
You know? Who really is an artist and who can do that. And you can ask your brother, John, my brother, yo, brother, I never know you're so in love, man, with that. And the man can say, brother, I tell you the truth, you know, so right now, my woman left me. And the man say, but I no overstand, but you just make a song about your love her. Brother, I just started my job, man.
Yeah. And I got to do the job.
But guess what? You felt it though, right?
Yeah. That's talent.
That's talent. Yeah. And that's you understanding the business and knowing what has to happen. Right. So that is what I would honestly advise most of the youth them at Jamaica. You know, many youth send me music from Jamaica and tell me to listen to it and you know, I hear the pain, I hear the grit.
Right.
You know, I hear certain things and it's hard for me to say to them, boy, brother, this not selling them. Because that's their story.
Right.
But the truth is sometimes it's a little bit too much edge for the regular consumer. Because your friend them who around you now buy the music, you know.
That's facts, right? And that the people have to realize.
And
who is your market?
Yeah, you know, your friend them, the most of them are going to do is give you the pop, 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 and make up your nice and yeah, that make you feel good, but that not going to really put no money on the table.
Right.
You know? So that's where you have to really like separate and know, say, okay, I'm going to make some music for the streets, and then I'm going to make some mainstream records that can get great balance. And because I'm an artist, you know, if I'm a producer and I'm just going to make all type of beats, like you have to be versatile to know that, okay, I got a Rihanna in my studio right now. Right. And I've just been making this dancehall trap. I have to tap into my element of knowing how to make pop. You know? Yeah. If I really want to get on that record, if I want to get on that Rihanna album. So you have to open your mind. Wow. So me tell the youth them say, yo, like if you love this music, like study music. Listen to different music. All of you producers, like listen to different music. Don't just get stuck with what's on the radio in Jamaica or the radio. Like just listen to other genres. Some genres that you probably
your
open
palette.
Open up your You have to, because that's the only way you're gonna grow. You have to know what's out there, because maybe you might hear something and you say, yo, them drum that body. Let me try, see if me can take them drum there and put them in a my thing and fuse it. But I find that most of us, you know, in Jamaica, like we're just stuck. You know? I remember one-dimensional mind. I remember before you go, Stephen the Genius years ago said something when he first had his child. I don't know Stephen, so big him up. He was like, he doesn't make his daughter listen to Jamaica music. I mean, sorry, radio, Jamaica radio. He made her listen to, because he wanted her music ear to be more broad.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she started to understand, oh, Frank Sinatra, oh, Louis Armstrong, you know, Otis Redding, like, you know, then you can listen to your regular local radio and you can be like, boom. So you have to open up your mind as producers and artists to music. If you love music, listen different type of music.
Man. That's facts, and that's another thing we speak on a lot is that people who are putting out stuff, not just music. If you're a restaurateur, right, you can't just consume your thing, you know. Yeah. And that's a problem that I think we have a lot, is that a lot of our musicians and producers just consume our thing. And I tested it myself before. I've spoken to many musicians and producers of dancehall and reggae music, and the only thing in them playlists and their arsenal is either them or their friends. You know what I'm saying? They're not necessarily open to a whole bunch of other things. Now, talking about exposure, you're born in Birmingham, England.
I was born in Jamaica.
Born in Jamaica.
But as soon as I was born in Jamaica, I moved to England.
And
I lived there for a couple of years.
So a couple of years in England, and then of course
back to Jamaica.
Back to Jamaica, and then we have the US. So it's like a trifecta right there. So
yeah,
you're exposed to a lot of different influences that way, right? In adverse to somebody who is not. So we can always look on it and say, you know, exposure is one thing, but the truth of the matter is this: there are other people who've traveled similar paths like yours and still limited. You know what I mean? Do you feel like your UK, US, Jamaica interaction has allowed you a broader acceptance of music?
Well, no. You know, because I had no music influences. I never had no family member that did music. Remember, I grew up in Baal. My father played semi-pro football in England. You know, my mother went to England to learn here, to cut here, and that's where she met my father. You know, so I never know nothing about the music. My first set of ties me played on my father trophy then.
Wow.
So
music was not.
Nobody in my mother never playing no music in the house apart from church music.
Right.
You know, but music wasn't. You know, and even when I came back to Jamaica and lived in Jamaica for years, music wasn't my thing. Like ball, I play ball from Pepsi, Colts, Manning Cup, under 14, under 16. Right. I play everything until my forward to Florida now and play ball over here so I get a scholarship. So music was not my thing. I tell you, I meet Protege, and I'm a bridge Protege in my yard, you know. Right. I'm a bridge and I tell me, say, yo, his name is OJ, man, the next big thing. And it never meant nothing to me. No disrespect, but it was just like, oh yeah, man, that good, man.
It's not like him say, yo, Ronaldinho over there.
Yeah, like, it never meant nothing. So to answer your question, like, when I started to fall in love with music, I really had to like teach myself music and open up my mind to it. You know? The same way I love ball, I'm say, boy, I just watch Beer Jamaica, but let me watch how the Brazilian them play. The same way we watch different leagues of football and we learn different tactics. It's the same way that if you don't have the certain exposure to be certain places, the internet is there. Right. You can still learn everything about music like I did. As I say, I never grew up in no music. I never have no uncle or nobody to say, yo, come here, so sound I play and I string up and I learn. No, I tell you.
You know, that's what makes your viewpoint to me so important. Because a lot of times the story is not as such, right? And though sometimes the story is not real either. Keyword story. People always talk about the influences. Oh, I grew up. I listened to Beer Bob, you know what I mean? My uncle is such and such and whatever. I actually love the fact that that's not your story. Because it says to me, and it says to the masses that it ain't got to be your story for you to approach it the right way, right? It's just your mindset, your meds, right? And knowing that you have to do something the right way. I'm stuck, and I will forever be stuck when you say, I decided to go take that course. You know what I'm saying? It never free. When them free course will pop up on internet, you took your money and go take the course, right? Where right about now, established artists and musicians and producers were established before you wouldn't have done that. A girl and thing we say. And you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I tell you.
Bro, so kudos, commendation, and again, it explains to me, it shows me why. Not just you do what you do, but the reason why you've had the success that you've had. Right? I don't want to lock off the thing for me, but I'm telling you something. You think I joke my mic where I squeeze off? I'm a tune, ladies and gentlemen.
Big up Jesse. say, protege.
Don't keep no squaring in your circle. Them come from every angle just to hurt you.
Tune too big, my lord. But you know something.
Boy. Yeah. Go stream this right now.
Them say them love we, but that I yesterday. Get where them want and switch it up already. Them now go try we out on no today. It not so easy to drain me energy.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, remember go and play that in my lock on the thing, but if anything got joke me, I make there's more where that came from.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Brown girl from the ghetto, here might a retro. Stepping at them dancing a clubs. When the rest of them a beat them stiletto. When we step it, no fi echo. Run through them city like a metro. Silence.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we not no time for
it's Leela.
The near up on my mind and me have to make.
You heard it.
Me not no time for dirty bungle. Money pa me mind and me have.
We squeeze some proto.
Real bad girl, no friend for make walk. Any boy in the world, me bless no blood.
Yeah, she bless. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Leela IK, one of my favorites. I'm telling you. The reason I had to squeeze off a couple of them there, you know. I had to, hold on. And the thing don't stop. We ain't forgetting that. So, you know, you're gonna give me the DJ. Tell me the catalog. We gonna find it. Like we say, I stream the things for the massive.
Play that one here.
Which one now?
Right now.
Which one now?
Vision Alexander right now featuring Jesse Raya.
Because I don't know if a lot of the people realize that you're an artist too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the people don't realize that you are an artist too.
I mean, you know, we dibble dabble a little bit, you know.
Is that a little some? What your name?
Right now. Yeah, man, you know.
All right, we going.
Yeah, man.
Well, Sean, me I try hold it out tonight.
Large up yourself in a Sean.
Big up Sean Alric.
Number on my phone, is sure. Yeah.
Oiga, papá, apareció el fantasma, ¿no?
Oye,
Bueno, lo que necesite, usted sabe que yo lo cuido. ¿Cuánto?
But I love 100 pound of grace to switch my foot right now. Now go lie that food I could right now. 100 pound of grace to
Sean, me I try. I still got Papi number on my phone, is sure. Yeah.
It's brand new.
Oiga,
It's been out, you know. It's been out.
Apareció el
Secret Jackie point.
Yeah, you know. Doing this thing in Europe.
Jano.
necesite, usted sabe que yo lo cuido.
Ladies and gentlemen.
¿Cuánto?
But I love 100 pound of grace to switch my foot right now. Now go lie that food I could right now. 100 pound of grace to touch my foot right now. Now go lie that food I could right now. Hear me no shot. Indigo sativa, hope so you reach her. But when I heal her, still look you enough asthma. Who keep for your sonic up, make sure it back them sealer. Them dog you know are good, fi smell like every reefer. Box the bus it I go kick like FIFA. Me I beg you rub it down with little ammonia. God forgive me for my sins and I'm a karma. Like a old car, God you know me need a starter. Right now.
Yo, you're going away. I'm going away. Vision Alexander, ladies and gentlemen, featuring Jesse Royal. The only reason I say me I fade them out so much is because tune them so large. I know the people is zap it and clap it. And my radio folks gonna be still here to hear, but you don't know about the viewers out there on Jano Star. Bro, proper. At least I can tell this. You ain't just giving the hits away. You know what I mean? Sometimes people are, I give the hits. No, sir. You ain't just giving the hits away. You keeping something for yourself.
You know, you see, that's the thing to like, when I make the music, when I first make it, me and Sean in our studio, and if I am not like, yo, Sean, me I keep that one here, you know, that's the feel. That's me know say it now go work. Cause then by tomorrow now I'll call him and say, boy brother, you know, say me ear ray on it.
Yeah.
But if I don't have that original feel from the song, the record done, I don't feel confident in giving it to an artist. Cause I want to be able to when I give it to an artist, I can be like, yo bro, I love the song, but I think that you would be better with it. Right. What you think? Right. And then they're just like, yo, Vision, yo, definitely like thank you know. But it's about the feel. Wow. Go back to the whole thing. It's about the feel. No science to this thing. It's about the feel. You have to have the feel for the music, and that is why the artists I work with, I want to see them win. Yeah. You know, like I always tell them, say, yo, like when I'm working with you, I'm working with you. Like I'm all about making you win. Cause if you win, I win. You know, and whatever skill set the Almighty has given me, and He's put us in that same path, it's yours. Right. Use me the way you need to use me. As long as you take care of me financially, make sure I'm good, come have a family, cover me things, them, come still have to pay for the thing, them, come still have the red. You see me? But, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, like, I just want to big up every artist that has allowed me to play a part in their journey musically. You know, I could go through the list, you know what I'm saying? I don't know myself. Big up Sean Alric. You know, Sean Alric has been so instrumental in my development. Definitely. You know, Sean is such a talented producer. There's so many. Sean Alric has his finger on the genre right now in reggae music. Many of the big hits that you hear is Sean Alric produced them. You know, and I just want to bless up Sean and bless up every artist. Bless up Jesse, because although, yeah, you know, I'm a songwriter, but the truth is, I like to call it, I'm a carpenter on a ship. The artists are the vessels. Wow. You know what I'm saying? And my job is to just work on the vessels. Them say, Vision, you know, say, we need, what them call it, the rudder for fix. My job is to just work on the rudder, do my thing, make sure that the ship, the vessel is seaworthy, and hopefully I can see them again for the next port. You know, and them can come back with all of the great things that them got from around the world and say, look what we came back with. The ship worked. All right, let's work on it again. And my job is to just travel from port to port and meet different captains, and those are the artists. And I appreciate every one of them allowing me to be on their vessels, to work on their vessels. And I pray for everyone I know, every time when I leave the port, when I go up on tour, when I promote the album, whatever I do, I pray for Uno. Because I'm like, piece of me is with Uno, and a piece of Uno is with me. So I appreciate every one of Uno giving me the opportunity. You know, as a songwriter, many people, we were talking about this earlier, like the songwriters are normally just in the background. I want to kind of change that from a Jamaican standpoint, because there's so many talented songwriters from Jamaica, but they're never ever seen, they're never known because them don't understand the business. So unfortunately, some of them get taken advantage of. And then them give up on music. You know, I could name a couple of top artists that you probably don't hear nothing from them no more because they had bad relationships with their writer. Wow, yep. You know, but I want to be, if you want to call it that guinea pig, you know what I'm saying, that songwriter that is vocal and is showing you other songwriters that there's a way to do this. You have to remember that the artist is the most important person. But there is a way to do this where you can be successful. You can support your family. You know, I learned this from Dino Del Valle. Big up Dino Del Valle, one of my teachers. Dino Del Valle is one of the A&Rs. He signed Cash Money to Universal on a P&D deal. So he's been in the game and he's been teaching me everything. And he said one thing to me that I took forever. He said, Vision, bad energy scares money. Wow. He's like, you could be talented, but he said bad energy scares money. So I've always taken that when I'm working with people to have a good energy. If I don't like your energy, I'd rather just fall back. Right. But I want to have that energy so that when we're working, it don't feel like a job. Right. You know? Right. It don't feel like we're just making great music forever, for time upon time. And as I said, I just want to big up every producer. Big up yourself. You see me? Everybody who plays the music, who's influential to the music, every artist, label. Yo, believe in reggae music. Give reggae music a chance. And as the fans as well, yo, support your artists, even if that's to be a competition. If you're gonna be like, yo, we are gonna stream more for Lila Ike compared to Ray, it's okay because it's at the same time it's all coming back to the same market share. Right. You know? And yeah, man, I just want to big up every artist, man. Every artist that has given me opportunity because when I don't know, say, when I help me support myself and my family, you see me, my son Tanko, you know, a lot. And every DJ, every selector, you play the music. When I help, you know, so I just want to thank you for real, you know, straight up.
Energy, that thing you mentioned a while ago, the energy vibe. And big up to everybody watching in live. To Basso Wagwan, Selector C, Beverlyn, Joy. A lot of folks watching in right about now. And I say, yeah, them love the vibe. Betty, what up? Clementine, what's going on? Wall Street, large up. You know, we talk about that energy vibe then. Have you had that? Because that was advice that was given to you. And to be honest with you, sometimes the advice sometimes more priceless than the check that we're gonna get sometimes. You know what I mean? Have you ran into that yet where you've had to take away yourself from a situation just because of the energy? The energy just wasn't right?
Yeah. Many times, you have to kind of read things a little bit. Like, you know, as Jamaica, we're street smart, so we feel energy. We read certain things, you see me?
Yeah.
Me as somebody know I'm used to as a ball. I always say ball because in ball, me and you might not have a good energy.
Right.
But once I pass the ball to you, we just speak a million words.
Right.
You see me?
Yeah.
Once I play that true ball and you score in a training, me and you are friend.
Yeah, you're good.
You see me?
Achoo. Makes sense.
We might come from different walks of life, but that true ball, you remember that one. You know? So I try to bring that same vibe into the music. Even if I feel an energy that is off, I try to be like, all right, how can I still pass the ball? Right. Where maybe we might not come from the same walk of life or we might not see things the same. But at the end of the day, no, I still want to pass you the ball. Right. You know?
So it's bigger than you overall. It's bigger than them.
Because as I say, I never think, them say vision, but the truth is I'm led by faith, not by sight. Although I say my name vision, this is not my vision. Right. You forward to my yard and you see Billboard and Grammy this on my wall. A few years ago, I really wanted them to be soccer trophies. I never thought I'd have a wall full of music. I never thought that I'd be able to know that, God forbid, if I pass away, I can leave a catalog of music that I've worked on and put it on my son's name so he can collect publishing for the rest of his life. I never thought that was going to be my journey. But the Almighty basically take you in places where you just have to just go with it. But tell anybody who's pursuing anything, like, be led by faith. You know, if you believe in God, if you believe whoever is your deity, you know what I'm saying, as long as it's not the devil, you know, just go with God. Because you don't know where God might take you. And sometimes you just have to fall back and just listen and watch where he might take you. You know? Like, this is a small example and something I really want to touch on for everybody. Like, when it comes to this music thing, like, a lot of us, we're talking about it as well. Like, a lot of people think you have to be the artist or the producer or whatever. You know, I work for a company. I'll big up the company now. Hopefully, you send me a check. Them name VER. You know,
big up on itself.
Yeah.
Forward the check.
VER was when it comes to market share, they rented 80% of audio equipment to every festival, every show, everything. So when I worked for them, when I started to work for them, I was the only black man working in the company. It's a white industry, you know?
Right.
And when I went there, I had no degree. Everybody went to Full Sail and they were audio engineers, lighting, and I just went there with my billboard. I had a billboard for music. And I was just like to the boss, look, boss, I don't know nothing about this, but I have this. Right. I'm used to being on the stage and singing. I don't know about how to wire up this mic and all them things. Right. And they gave me a job. So when I was, and this is before I got into the writing. So when I'm working with them now and everything, you know, I'm in charge of logistics where I'm seeing like the riders and setting up things. Like we used to do things for Ultrafest, Revolt. Wow. All of the big shows. Like, so I'm seeing, okay, this show want them, this equipment, 100,000 them are gonna pay for it. But then I said, but if them are rent this for 100,000, what about the people that want to set it up? Right. And then I started to learn about, you have people call a L1, like a lighting one person who's probably getting paid $100 an hour. Audio one. And I'm like, So you have people in this game who are making probably more money than the artists.
Yeah.
So then it opened up my mind to the business. I'm like, yo, music has so many avenues that you can support your family. You don't have to just be the artist, because sometimes you're not built to be an artist. You know, your personality. You know, for me, like I started out being an artist, but then I got in some situations where I had to stop. And then when I got this whole enlightenment of like, yo, you don't have to be the artist. Right. And I found out that writing was really my calling. I found out that I could do so much more. Like I can work more beyond the scenes and make more things happen. So my point is that, yo, don't feel away if you feel like, boy, this artist thing now work out or this producer thing now work out. There's other avenues in the industry that might just be working, that just work for you. Right. And you might not have the fame, but best believe you'll be able to pay for that house that you want. That car that you want. You can send your child to whatever school it is if it comes to it. You'll be able to make a living. But that's where the business comes in. You have to know the business, and you get to realize that there's other avenues in this industry that can make you successful. Wow. And you still can make a big role in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at Neo. Neo started off as a writer. Yep. And then Neo's now one of the top, you know? Yeah. So you never know, and that's why I go back to God. You never know where God going to take you, but you have to have an open mind. You have to have an open mind, and you really have to, you see me?
That's that open mind thing you talk about. Very, very, very important. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Vision Alexander. All right, we're talking to the songwriter, artist, musician, whole nine. Check him out. All right, make sure you look for not only his songs, but check out him catalog. Google. Google's your friend. You know what I mean? I love your approach. I love your vantage point because, again, like I said, it differs from the average and the normal story. You know what I'm saying? I asked you earlier if I gave you the keys to the game, what you change, right? You still got the keys to the game. Yeah. What are you keeping? What are they doing right?
What are they doing right?
Yeah.
We're staying true to our roots and culture. We're still holding on to that. I can honestly say that that's very important. We're not selling out. You know, there's still levels that we still hold firm in the music and just we as Jamaicans. And that is very important. You know, because maybe enough of we could have sell out and, you know, getting at some other things, but we're holding on to that. Right. What I would also keep is the artistry. You know, the fact that in Jamaica we grew up for when as an artist and you perform, like you have to perform live with bands. You know? I remember I used to hear stories, I never used to be a musician, but I used to hear stories of man them used to go to a studio sometime and then put a little mic through a grill. Yeah. And you have to spit your verse if you want to get into the studio.
Right.
Them things they're important. Yeah. Because them things they know build us as artists. I would honestly say that we as Jamaicans are the best performers in the world.
Sure. That's for sure.
When it comes to performing live bands, we have it naturally. When it comes to performing 2-track, we that. We don't do the lip syncing thing, you see me? Although the lip syncing thing, the other genres make their money, but them cannot perform like we.
You get your money's worth when you come see.
You get your money's worth when you come see we as Jamaicans perform. So we have that. Them watch us and them learn that. Our musicians are the best musicians in the world. Our keyboard players, our guitar players are the best. So we have the tools, you know, because remember say our goal up on the streets, you know, our reggae music, our goal, you know. We just kick it around like ball and not care. And the reason why there is because we have these amazing artists, talented producers, talented musicians. We are the best in the world when it comes to this music shit.
Right.
But we have to start to understand that there's no more distributing the ball. We're tired of playing midfield right now. We're tired of playing midfield. We now need to go on the offensive. We now need to start score goal. We now need to be on the front page and know say, yeah, reggae music, yeah, we got this amounts of numbers of streams. We got this, we got that. We need to start being like that. Stop being too humble. It's good to be humble, but we need to have a little pride. Like, you know how much my artist streamed today? He streamed he streamed 100,000 in a week.
Right.
That's my reggae music. That's my artist. Yeah. You know, we have to have that. We have to have that thing there. You see me? If Massacre is your artist, you have to be like, you know what? Who's your artist? Beenie Man are your artist. That's all good. They still one family. But guess what? Me, I go stream Massacre all day tomorrow for make sure I say tomorrow, him stream them higher than your Beenie Man. And we still can boom fist and respect each other.
Yeah. Because the other genres do that.
That's what they do.
Yep.
You know? And as the artist now, you did ask a question, what is something the artists them need for put pressure upon them fans? If you love me as an artist, support me.
Right.
Me no need no fire emoji for support me. Buy my music, stream it, share it.
Yeah.
You see me? There's like my baby mother, big up my baby mother.
Large up yourself.
Big up my baby mother. Me I don't know there right now, but we are bigger up said way. You see me? When I started to talk, my baby mother is Puerto Rican. But I learned how, as a Latina, how them listen music. So her thing was like this, because me never know. Hear a song on the radio. Wow, that sounds good. Shazam.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the name of the song? Apple Music. Okay, buy it.
Mad.
Play it now. I love that song. Then she go in a little group chat with her family, them about 50 of them. Yeah. Send it.
Yeah, check this out.
This all happened in the space of like 5 minutes.
Wow.
10 minutes, let's just say. It's that easy.
Right.
And in that little time, she probably got people to share that music. Probably 100 people probably listen to that song.
Wow.
That is how we need to be. And it never costs her nothing.
Yeah. It's not like she had to buy it 100 times.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's the mindset. It's just the way how we have to be with our music. We have to have that same approach. You know, we have to like the music, listen to it, stream it, share it. Let's talk, you know, producers, artists, when I get into it now, when I make music, there's a 5-second rule. I'm going to run off in it real quick for them. You know, we spin some game.
Drop the info.
When y'all making music, there's a 5-second rule. You have to make sure that within the first 5 seconds, 10 seconds, you catch my attention. Not me, you have to catch the audience attention. Don't wait for when the song in the middle of the song. Remember that one verse they will miss that. Yeah. No, nobody care about that. You have to think about it like this, like radio. This is what they're doing. You're driving in your car, you're going through the song like this. You don't hear your next station. You need to make sure that 5 seconds of your song catches somebody who doesn't listen to reggae. Like, oh wow, that melody is so dope. Let me turn that up. What's this? Who's that? You have to make sure your hooks are strong.
Formula.
Your hooks are the universal language to a song. Your hooks are the universal language to a song. You have to make sure so you hook them strong. That's why it's called a hook.
Formula.
Melodies are very important. People used to tell me, say, oh, you know, when a girl look you something, a girl say, yeah, you know, I love Jamaicans because when you talk, it sound like when I sing the patois. It's in a way.
Yeah.
Melody in a way. So put melody in the music them, put it in the hook them. Make sure say a baby can be able to sing on the song. You see, nursery rhymes, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3 is a nursery rhyme that a baby can learn. Yeah. It's the same formulas you have to put in the hook them that people can be caught. You know what I'm saying? This bag of 16 bar verses thing, we not ready for that right now. Stick to your 8 if you have to do 8. Maybe 12 bar. Your 8 bar verses and then you do a 4 bar pre-hook that leads into your big hook, like pop. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
That is what it's at. I'm live and you trying to call me. You know? You know?
Facts.
So them thing that una have to put into the music. If you don't want the music, Mr. giving us some little jewels. No lucky say me not charge, you know. You see me? But I love music. I love reggae music. I love you. But there's just like formulas that we have to do if we're going to make this music make sense from an international standpoint. We need to cut through, we need to break through into certain markets because as we were talking about earlier, it is inevitable. What's going to happen is that our music is going to now be put up against Afrobeats, reggaeton in certain genres, from the Billboard to the Grammys now, Mobile Awards. And we are not going to be able to compete.
Yeah. Just based on straight numbers, Africa is a big continent. When you talk about the Latin countries, that's a big thing. We can't compete.
We're not going to be compete yet.
Right.
So that means that we'll have to start really respecting the music more and understanding what we need to do to compete, because the days is coming. You're going to see that your artists never get nominated for a Grammy, never hit the Billboard charts. They're never going to get no awards. And they were going to be vexed like Jamaicans and say, yo, I true with this, I'm a rare that. Them days that are forwarding. And we have to understand that we, as the creators of the music and the DJs and the producers and the DJs, we have to really know that, yo, we have to hold our artists, songwriters accountable.
Absolutely.
As a selector, like, you have to tell the artist, brother, this song now work, you know. Vision, may I tell you the truth, Vision, that song, they nah cut it, bro.
Yep. So I'm glad I said that to them, because people have a thin skin.
Yeah.
I tend for vex, and I'm not telling like something that I have a gripe with, I'm sure it bugs you too, is the disposable approach that we take to the music. Is like song today, song tomorrow, song in the afternoon, another song. The quality, the quantity versus quality, kind of feed. You know, here's the thing. I love what you just said a while ago, because I think those are words that people need to hear. And coming from you is gonna hammer home, because again, you do it, right? A lot of time when they hear people talk about it, sometimes we have their approach and say, well, I mean, you don't really know. You know what I'm saying? But this is what you do.
Yeah.
Hooks. Had a conversation the other day too. If you notice, even from a hip-hop standpoint, for a long period of time, the hip-hop mecca, New York, right? Cali was trying to do their thing. How did Cali come in? Melodies, when that sing-songy type of thing are going on.
Yeah.
There's a time when they would not have accepted the South, but when the South did take over, it was all because them songs had more hooks than they had freaking verses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's why I love how you hammer home the point that we need the hooks. We need. It goes back to formula. I understand we're all passionate, we're all artists and stuff like that, but sometimes we got to look at the construct. What makes sense? Like you said, radio, right? The drop times. People now at time, 5 seconds to 10 seconds, they skipping.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And if you work our radio station, they will let you know that too, which is the reason why you can't play a song that's unknown behind another unknown song. There's just formulas for things, right? So that being said, we need to take heed to the words that Vision write about now and put some effort into our songwriting, because that's the thing that bugs the hell out of me, is songwriting. And again, everybody's patterns are different, and not everybody. Can you say the thing is this? You're working with stuff that sounds damn modern, the way how the deliveries of stuff. So you have to say, okay, damn, I saw Coffee deliver, I saw Protege deliver, I saw Jesse deliver, I saw Lila, because then they're on the modern cusp of things, right? But again, your formula is age old, bro. Your formula age old. The way you go about it is the same vintage formula that Chris Blackwell and Bob them I used from way back when. Doing it right. What's the response you get? Because you in the game right about now. People look upon Vision as this is a new breed, a new crop right there. So what's the reaction you get from the OGs now, the old heads, the people in the business from a long time when you talk to them? Do you have an opportunity to work with a lot of the older folks, or?
Oh yeah, man. Like,
what's that vibe there?
You know, and I learn a lot from them. You know, big up Julian Marley.
Man.
You know.
By the way, tune, right? You're on that song. That's one of my favorite songs right about now. Don't ruin my world.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Vision upon that thing to
Yeah.
keep going. Just let the people
Yeah,
know.
man. You know, Morgan Heritage. You know, Gramps Morgan. Like, you know, when I'm listening to them, I'm soaking in a lot of game. You know, and they are where they are right now because the formula.
Right.
So it's more me learning from them, more like when I get the chance to be in their realm, I'm just basically a student. But sometimes I'm, you know, they when they have me around them doing work, I have to remember that, okay, there's something that they want, they okay, Vision, we need this. And I have to like remember that, okay, I do have something to bring to the table, although these are my teachers.
Right.
You know? So it's like, they like the fact that I always keep the culture. You know, always about the culture. You know, I'm always about trying to bring the reggae music forward. But I also love the fact that I'm not scared to fuse the music.
Right.
So I might be working with an artist and I'm like, you know what, let's try to do something a little different but still works within your sound. You know? And they're always open to trying it because you'd find that they're more open than maybe the younger artists,
Right.
because they understand that music changes.
Right.
And there's many times in their career that they had to probably change to adjust to what's going on in the market,
Right.
you know? So we'll be teaching each other, like, all right, Vision, make we do it like this, and da-da-da-da. Make we make the drum, the tempo, and then I'm like learning now. Cause remember, I not really grew up in music, so when I'm around these elders, I'm like, okay.
Soaking it in.
But at the same time, it's very humbling when they allow me to be in the room and they're like, so Vision, what do you think?
Right.
And sometimes I have to come out of that zone and I have to remember that, I'm really here to work.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they really want my advice.
Come out that fan mode
I really have to remember that there's something that I'm bringing to the table too, and they allow me to do that, and then they use it.
Right.
And it's a humbling thing. So I would more say it's like learning from each other, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, because they're the teachers. If it wasn't for them, if it wasn't for the Sizzler Colunges, the Capletons, the Marleys, the Morgan Heritage, I could name so many. Like there wouldn't be no platform for me and you.
I love that.
You know,
I love that. We talk about humility, and that's the thing too. You know, is that sometimes I think we misconstrue what humility is. You know, what I mean, humility ain't sitting in the corner and be quiet. You know what I mean? And being insecure. Humility is like you just did, accepting the fact that I ain't create this wheel. You know what I'm saying? And me make the bus. But me upon the bus, I ride right about now. You know what I'm saying? But of course, I like the confidence. I love the swag because, like you said, it's time for us to start score some goal and stop distributing ball.
We need to start score some
goal. We sent some amazing free kicks over to reggaeton. We sent some amazing crosses gone over to Afrobeats, right? And we're still there. Nobody knows our name.
Them they are World Cup and we still there. I watch them.
Jano, on our big screen.
Yeah, on our big screen, I watch them, and we see them. I use the same formation and formulas like us.
You know what I mean?
But hey, we have to also evolve in the music, you know. Back to ball is like, you know, back in the days, Jamaica used to play 5-3-2, right? But now the game changed. People are now playing 4-3-3.
Right.
So, it's just like in music, like, you can't feel no way, boy, I don't really want to do them thing there with the music. No, you know, you're gonna, if you don't evolve, you'll die.
Yeah. Evolution's important.
You have to evolve.
Yeah.
You know, that you're still playing the same game. You're still playing the same ball. The ball's still a roll, though. Music still a play. We just have to maybe approach it from a different formation, no?
Right.
Because the game has changed. And this goes for anybody who, you know what I'm saying, and know, you know, like, who's been in the game longer than me, and them can say, Vision, well, you know about nothing. But the truth is this, like, you can't deny that the game has changed. And you can't deny that maybe, you know, some of your publishing checks are probably not as how they used to be.
Mm-hmm.
The listening is not really there, like, you go to some of our reggae concerts, you know, the fan base is not really there like one time. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the truth. Right. We have to evolve because there's a new audience right now.
And we got to grab that audience.
You know, the parents that used to come and watch us, it's their kids now. Mm-hmm. So we have to now attract to their kids to make their kids be like, man, I love that artist because we're still around, right? So these are things that, like, pride, we have to kind of swallow our pride.
Right.
And understand that if you really love music, you have to evolve. You have to grow. You know, as I said, me as a songwriter, I'm trying to be the face of songwriters in Jamaica, you know. My next goal is to hopefully I want to submit the music that I have coming next year with artists that I've worked with to try to be nominated for Songwriter of the Year. It's a new category in the Grammys.
Right.
And I want to be the first Jamaican to do that.
Wow.
You know? And it's not just for myself, it's for Jamaica, it's for songwriters, it's for many people who think that, boy, they don't think that they could have found another avenue in music. I'm going to show you that there's other ways to make this thing happen. I'm going to be that living proof. I'm going to be that person. And I'm not going to lie to y'all, I might stumble. You know, might stumble a few times, but I'm still a go through because I'm going to be that guinea pig as a songwriter, you know what I'm saying? And if I have to sometimes run out there and perform the song myself and sing and put out a song, speaking of that, I have a song called Beautiful about to drop right now. Chevy produced it and Sean Alric, you know what I'm saying?
When's it dropping?
We about to drop it sometime in December. Yeah, we're just waiting on the video right now to finish editing, but we're going to be dropping that very soon.
So video and optics coming.
Same time.
Mad.
You know? Mad. So, but yeah, like, you know, at the end of the day, Jordan still has to put on those shoes and show them that him can still shoot 3 throws, right?
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? So, whatever I have to do to help propel the genre. And I'm not trying to say I'm a savior, but whatever I can do to help the vessels, I'm here, I'm open. I'm open to help. I'm open to help DJs, disc jocks, all of you. Whatever I can do to help propel this thing here. Because at the end of the day, you know, the bigger it gets is the more money we can make.
Everybody wins.
You know, I ain't gonna try to front. It's not about the money, but it's about the money.
You can't do nothing without it.
You know, we need to make this genre so attractable that everybody wants to invest.
You know, what I dig about what you're saying there is this, and even before I said it, I'll say this. What I love too is evolution is something that you pretty much ply your craft and your trade around evolution, right? But for you, evolution doesn't mean abandonment, and that's the thing I think some people misconstrue, is that one is in adverse to the other. You know what I mean? So it's like, if me evolve, me abandon the family. No. The people who evolve and stay relevant are people who evolve while carrying and adhering to what the formula is. And like I said, that's something I'm going to rate about where you are though. As far as everything else, you know what I mean? Like you say, Songwriter of the Year, goals and stuff like that. I think it is so important that many other people have these kind of aspirations too. Because again, we need to take the blinders off. I realize that this thing bigger than just us. We aren't all, we're not the consumers. And like something I said a while ago, a lot of the people who used to rock and groove to us, I know them kids out there, right? Rocking and grooving even more. We need to figure out how to make them rock and groove to we too.
Oh, we'll have to.
So,
yeah, we have to.
I know.
We say we have to lock off soon or what time?
You have a tune? We drop a
No. But it's a wonder, because I just love where the conversation
no,
is going.
Bro, our world, you know what I mean? We just lock off. Ooh, and we lock them off.
Okay.
You know? We deal with it like more.
Just like that.
Just deal with it like more. As far as music coming out, right? You're putting out music for yourself. You're putting out music for other artists, right? And we talk about the value system of this music. Do you think we stand a chance, reggae, dancehall, Jamaican music culture, of coming back up to the prominence we knew in the 90s? Remember, sure, it was a bad like 90s dancehall, right? And I think the reason why people refer to the 90s so much is not just because of the quality of the music, but that was the time when we had most of our people signed to the international labels and whatnot. You know what I mean?
Facts.
And now, because of the advent of social media, here people say all the time, "Oh, we don't need this." We do. You know what I mean? We could use it. We need the money, we need the machine, and we ain't got it. Right?
Yeah.
So, do you see and feel like, and you're closer to it because we see like Protege and his team with the RCA connections. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people getting avenues through Delicious Vinyl, which not major, but still more major than we are.
Big up Leslie, yeah.
Large up on itself, and then of course you have the Universal experiences and stuff like that. Do you feel like we stand a chance of coming back to commercial prominence with what we're doing right now? With
90s, I believe that the 90s sound, the 90s dancehall sound, we run left it too quick. And reggaeton took it and turned it into platinum.
So it's new ownership right about
new ownership, you know. We ran away and left the 90s sound. You can't, that 90s sound was gold and still is.
Right.
How do we get back to it? I don't know. You know, because when you think about the 90s sound, and it goes back to the compound word, dance hall. In the hall, everybody danced. The 90s sound made you dance. It made you move. Yeah. So we might not be able to relive the 90s because music has changed the tempo, but we can still get back that dance hall element.
Enjoyment.
That full enjoyment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why we have to like big up people like Ding Dong because they're still making music and creating dances that are interactive. We have to get back to that, you know, and if that means, hey, maybe bring back a playground rhythm, you know, and probably fuse it, I don't know. But we have to get back to that because the world knows our dancehall music to make you dance, to make you move. And right now, it's hard to say, but Afrobeats is taking the place of dancehall when it comes to movement.
Being able to groove.
Yeah. People are going to dance to Afrobeats. Afrobeats is taking that. They see it there, will pass the ball, and then gone again.
Score.
You know? So we have to really like get back to that vibe of Jamaican music being that music where you can rock and you can groove, yeah, or you can dance. You're going to come to a dance hall party and you're going to dance.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to dance. You know, even from the dancing standpoint, like I look at certain things from a business. Like I see so many people come to Jamaica and big up all of the Germans and the Swedish people who come down there and they learn our dance moves and they bring it back to their country and they open up studios and they have dance classes and they're charging like maybe €100 per person and they're doing 3 classes a week. That's us passing the ball again.
Yep.
But they might eat the food, right?
Yep.
So it's like we also can't make it so easy for people to just come and take with things. Like it's okay to come and learn, but there has to be some business attachment to it.
Reciprocity. How we benefit from
Yeah,
all this
we
right
have
now.
to benefit too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do we benefit too for a long-term period? Not just you come here and you give me a 10,000. No, like I wanna be along for the ride.
Yeah. The long-term investment.
Yeah, and that's where you have to understand the 95% of the business. You know? Have to understand that. But when it comes to the 90s, as we were talking about, like we have to bring back that dance element, that feel-good element. The music has to feel good.
Some fun.
Yeah, it has to feel good. It has to be catchy. The tempos have to be up. It has to give that vibe. There has to be more dancing in it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I would suggest to bring back dance. Nothing bad like 90s dancehall. But when you think about 90s dancehall, me think about Bogle. I think about Row the Boat. Joyride, Prang. You see me? Willie Bones. Me think about that. Like I'm thinking about the dance them and the vibe and dance used to nice.
It's all serious now.
Yeah, you know, and not because times it hard back then, you know, when them I make the song them, you know.
And Badman song that making.
And Badman song I make.
But it was a balance.
But we still have to remember that was our formula.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day now, as I said, we can't be unprofessional and be like, boy, times too hard, I'm going to make some hard times music, you know.
Yeah.
But if there was a formula that we made the world dance.
Like we used to do.
People know we as Jamaican for wear big gold chain and soccer jersey.
Yep.
You know? Plot up put ear and have all different type of style. Like them know if you have the whole heap of ring them pan with finger and them just know say Jamaican culture that you know. Swag. Yo. Desert Clarks are the thing, you see me?
Yep.
Like them know for them thing there. You know? Like that's a formula.
Yeah.
We might just think of it as so we're just every day, man. But it's really a formula.
We created a brand with that. Yeah.
So why not keep that formula going because it works? Don't try to recreate the wheel.
It done there.
It done
around already.
And that is where our arrogance as Jamaicans, like, me I gotta do my own thing and start something new and do it that way, you know. Yeah. That's cool, bro. But why you gonna try to do that when you know said this already work?
Yeah.
So try to do that and maybe incorporate something else, but don't run away from it. And that's what we did with 90s dancehall. We run, we left it. And somebody else has it right now. It's like your girlfriend that you want back. You can't get her back.
And she fine too.
And that's why we keep, and that's why you know that happens that they keep creating music. Like there's so much music going out. Artists have put out 3 songs a day and saturating the music, and they're just trying to, what we're trying to catch up to, because we're not going to catch up back to that 90s unless we change our approach. Yeah. It's not about the amount of song where you're making, it's about the approach.
And what I love about that vibe is that you're not trying to recreate the 90s music, you're just trying to recreate the feel and the success and the acceptance and whatnot, which is what's necessary.
Yeah.
Because people talk about even reggae music and dancehall not getting the played on international stations, and the truth is, they do. But I see them sing them, I play all the time. If you ever catch a mix, a Hot 97, right? Hot 105, New York. 103.5. If they do get another vibe, say, yo, some reggae and some dancehall play right about now. I guarantee you can tell the 10 songs that's coming.
Oh, hell yeah.
Some Sean Paul that comes, the Wayne one that come. You know what I mean? A couple of vibes that come. My Elephant Man is just the same songs.
Same
right?
song.
But there's a reason for that. Because it's catchy and it feels good.
There we go.
I'm going to give you this. Even your song, like I said, you have what I deem the modern sound, right? But every single one of them songs there, me can dance to. De Niro. And what happened pretty much is sometimes producers don't realize that them control the genre. It doesn't matter what the artist does. The artist is not what make it a dancehall. thing. The artists don't make it hip hop. It's the instrumentation.
Yeah.
All right. So producers, a lot of that responsibility, a lot of that onus falls on you guys. We talk about 90s. We talk about juggling, right? And we straight away, like I said, we straight away from a lot of things from the 90s. Juggling are one of them.
Yeah.
Quality juggling more so than anything else. I was talking to somebody and I said, John, when you hear songs, for example, you hear Lion Order, right? You hear songs like Switch. I hear De Niro and them songs. Great. They're tracks on their own for the album. But can you imagine a juggling with 10, 7, 8 are your baddest artists? On some of them already now. How do you feel about juggling?
Say, if I always hear this, like, for bring back juggling. But what happened to juggling?
Mm-hmm.
I just selected them mash up juggling,
Uh-huh.
Because at the end of the day, it's like juggling at one point don't benefit a young artist.
True that.
So there's no
three
songs get played, so it kills the growth of the music.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where that is the responsibility of the disc tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Because you only go play the Beanie Man, the Bounty, the Sean Paul.
Yeah.
What happened to the younger artist who more has the baddest song on the rhythm?
Yeah.
And no offense to Jamaican DJs, but the difference between a Jamaican DJ and a hip hop DJ, some of them, not all of them, is that a hip hop DJ is more about moving the crowd more than following the crowd.
Yeah.
And if you think about our top DJs in Jamaica, they know how to move the crowd. You look at Boom Boom, you look at yourself. You know what I'm saying? You look at Super Twitch, you look at Jazzy T, you look at some of the big producers, some of the big
man them too, you know what it is? A grown man them.
They understand the business. You can't follow the crowd. When I'm big up my brethren, D1 MC, big DJ Otessa. I learned this from him years ago. He's like, man, I love breaking new artists. I love new records.
Right.
And I'm not used to hearing that. Because, Jamaican producers say, DJs, say, moi, you're the new idea, But they're like, nah, man, our thing is we want to break a record.
Yeah.
I get props when I break a record.
And that used to be so important to us too back in the day.
Back in the day. But now it's like, I just want to play what's safe.
Play it safe, yeah.
But nobody want to break the record. So when it goes to juggling now, it's like, I'm not going to lie, I was the first to say, singles.
Yeah.
Because juggling is good for the producer because you have 10 people on a rhythm and say all them are going to get play and you get your publishing and you feel good about it. But then for the artist now, who has the better song and who's the upcoming him don't get the strength.
Fall into the shadows.
Yeah, so then what happens to him now? Yeah. He feels that his music is not good enough. So maybe he had a dope girl song that could have breakthrough internationally, but now him feel like him have to just make a gun song.
And that's happening a lot.
And that, you understand? We are killing our artists. And I believe that that's what was killing many artists. Juggling was doing that. So if we're going to bring back juggling, we have to more think of it from a standpoint of what's the better song? Like every song I forget
versus the bigger name.
Yeah. Or if that's the case, limit the juggling. Like, okay, only 5 artists to a rhythm.
And that's what I think is the thing about it. If we had less people on a job, because so you say, well, again, straight facts. I'm gonna love the facts. I can spit the facts to the masses because I feel like there was a solid, and this was into the 2000s now, the one drop era. There's a solid 6 years when from the Don Corleone drop leaf and then everybody met their version of the drop leaf and so forth. But there's a bunch of dope rhythms for about 6-7 years straight. But the truth is, to echo your sentiments, it was almost like the same 3 or 4 artists on the wall of them. It was Cure. It was Taros. You might get Morgan Heritage, right? And Kalanji. Right? For a hot minute, it was that. You know what I mean? Or there was a time when it's Richie Spice. Now, when it comes to reggae and dancehall, and I notice this in no other genre but our genre, it seems like you can only have one person succeeding at a time. It's like we always feel like, say, boy, if Protege hot, right? Adjust Protege. When I'm saying, but Protege can be fire, Chronics could be fire at the same time. Jesse could be fire at the same time. You know what I mean? But it almost seems like there's restrictions on it, and I don't think the restrictions come from outdoor. I think the restrictions come from our people. Have you ever gotten that vibe, that energy, like, yo, we're trying to curtail the things, like, you know, if Sean Paul hot, Shaggy can't hot. You know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen that or felt that energy?
Many people gonna hate me when I say this, but sometimes that's based off a bad mind. It's the same artist I fight the next artist. You know?
Right. Sometimes I pay money for stifle.
You know, for stifle the next man thing, you know? You might be in that you might have that relationship with that program director, and they're like, hey, what do you think about Vision? No, you don't got no beef with me. You know I'm a good artist, but because you feel like, you know, he's not really a good artist and he's not a good person for work with, and so now you get all that praise and that glory and you move on.
Right.
But you could have passed the ball.
Right.
So I would honestly say that is based off a bad mind. Enough of we say love and unity and all that, but enough of them.
What I mean?
Bad mind.
Yeah, that's true. It keep the ball out of touch.
Yeah, like you say, you know what? If me can't play that, me I kick with the ball and nobody now go play no ball today. You know, and that's just the truth.
Real talk.
You know?
Real talk.
No for the man them bad mind. Act like them love each other, act like them love this thing here. But the truth is that them only care for themselves.
Right.
They don't care about the genre. They don't care about them fellow artists, but them, you know, it's just, we don't have that, I don't know.
Sounds cool to say that when the cameras come on.
It sounds cool, yeah. It sounds great to say when you're on stage and you share the mic, but you share the mic with somebody that you're probably like, you know, could I really help this artist, yeah? And give him a strength probably 3 years ago when he had that song.
Yeah.
But I was so scared of his talent. He was so good. I didn't want him to outshine me. He has a family too. If he's talented, he's not a threat to you. And that's why I have to big up Bounty Killer.
Always.
You know?
Always.
I have to big up Bounty. I have to big up Protege.
You know, let's go there. Because you're absolutely right. That's one thing. People can say all what they want about Killer. There's one thing that's in that man's legacy, is the fact that he didn't try this thing by himself and bring others along with him. And some of the people who he brought along with him arguably became bigger, right? And then the only person I've seen do that since then, to me, I mean I don't see everything, but it's Protege.
Yep.
We said something a while ago in terms of artists not pulling others and giving others shine. A lot of our OGs and when we love as musicians, I personally have never seen them pass the ball. You know what I mean? It's just about them. When Protege came out, I remember my first introduction to Protege was probably second album, right? Coming down here doing Best of the Best. My band and I opened for him and him band one time up at Janus Live. And the vibe and the energy was always very humble, very cool youth, right? Yeah. And I respected that. But my respect grew out of this world for Protege when I realized that, okay, I'm start bring others along with him, especially the female artists. Start bring all of these artists along with him, and then for be able to procure all a deal with RCA, and it wasn't just a Protege deal. You know what I mean? Because Leela come, Savannah come. To me, that's major, and that's about the industry more so than just you. You know what I'm saying?
That's a boss move,
brother. I wish we had 10 more Proteges.
That's yeah. Like, you know, I would say like Protege's mind, the way a Protege think. I'd honestly say that if Protege ever decides to stop the music, like I think our industry needs a mastermind. Like Protege needs to be somebody beyond the strings to direct the music and be like, okay, I think this is that, because the way how he thinks, you know, he's not somebody who's gonna like, I'm gonna give him his roses,
right.
You know, and I'm not just giving his roses because we work together. Like I'm gonna give him his roses. Like Protege brought Leela, you know. Jazalise, Savannah, even Chronix.
A lot of people realize
people don't know that, you know. Coffee. Yeah. Coffee say it in our song, you know. Hello, Proto, you know. Yep. Jesse. Yeah. Just the other day, Protege kept a tour with Jesse, Leela, you know. He could have done that on his own.
Of course.
Jesse could have kept the show on his own. Leela could have her own show, but he was like, the bigger picture is building reggae.
We need that, bro.
And when I sit down and I talk to Protege, time when I do see him, he's never talking about a singular aspect. Like, it's just me. He's always saying, boy, Vision, I really want to build this reggae music. And if I stop do it, I want to know, say, yeah, it good.
Yeah.
I want to know, say, yeah, like, it'll grow and everything because, you see me? It's like, and that's so, he's good. Protege don't need to do no more music. He's done everything.
Him doing for them.
But he's still.
And this ain't new. He been doing this. He been like this for years.
For years. You know? And that's the mentality that he has. And then you find out that everybody who's around him has that same mindset.
Yeah.
Even me, like, like I'm into the game now and I'm like, yo, it's about others.
Yeah.
Building the genre. It's not just about me.
Yeah.
It's not just about the money that we're making. It's about building the genre. I want my son to come and say if he want the reggae music, there's still a reggae music for him to do. There's still an industry for him to come play with and say, all right, let me try to do this.
Yeah.
My daddy named Dede.
Yeah.
You know? Even Jesse Raya, like a lot of people, like Jesse does so much for reggae music that people don't. A lot of these upcoming new artists in reggae, them not going to talk about it, but me I going to speak about the good things that them do. Like Jesse helps so many musicians. You know? Like when Jesse did his album the other day that we did, there were so many new producers that got opportunity to get Grammy nominated.
Wow.
Jesse could have easily like, nah, I'm not going to put these new guys on. But he gave them opportunity because he understood that this producer with this buzz, he might just become the biggest thing. You know? Jesse builds schools in Jamaica, like helps schools.
Wow.
Puts money into schools and builds, I think it's Haile Selassie School. Like he's helping those schools. Like these are things that they do. You know?
Under the quiet.
Yeah, you know? Jesse, he's shown the reggae community that it's okay to work with corporate. You know, like, okay, he does stuff with Digicel, he does stuff with Jakanda.
Right.
And he's showing them that it's not no sellout, it's just enhancing the business and still bringing our culture into it and staying true to who we are. That opens the eyes to another younger upcoming reggae artist like, okay, cool, I can do corporate deals with somebody and it helped propel my brand and help propel theirs.
More than a hustle.
It's more than a hustle. It's like a real business, you know? So there's many things that the new generation, because the truth is that them are run the game now.
Can't get around it.
And it's because, you know, unfortunately our veteran artists, them can't travel. The vessels that they can't travel. We need them to travel, but unfortunately they can't. They're the vessels that travel the four corners of the world and allowed us to be able to travel those same journeys. But now you have the Proteges, the Jessies, the Kabakas, the Chronics, and to name a few, Three Islands, you know, Jameer Morgans. You have them, you know. So it's like we have to support them. Because they're the ones who are carrying the torch now. They're the ones who are making the music and they're the ones who are really putting our culture forward. And we also have to support the reggae bands in California.
Everybody in the genre.
Yeah, we have to support them. We have to support each other. Like, we can't just have this thing as a thing where we're just like, sure, this for ourselves. You ain't gonna make no money if this reggae music thing gets dissolved.
If you alone, yeah. If it's just you and nobody appreciates the whole thing, then you're going to be in a little bar, a little tiki hut somewhere.
Yeah.
Because the value just not dead like that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
And amazingly, we talk about these artists doing the things that they do. You know, sometimes there was a time when people were scared. You'd hear sentiments all the time. Yo, reggae, this reggae, I don't know what after reggae. But you just spoke about a bunch of names who none of them reach 48, you know. So pretty much it's still a young crop of people.
Yeah.
But the truth is, a Protege, for example, the man moved like a 60-year-old. Just the way how he approaches the game and how you talk right about now. So to the point where sometimes I talk to some people, then I realize a Protege a young youth too, you know. Because of the fact of his thinking is way beyond them saying can see far than them knows. He sees down the street, and I look for the future, look down the hill and up the hill. Versus just I'm right here. And I could be the biggest name in the world, singularly. You think same no say Chronics being huge makes Protege huge? Coffee being huge makes Protege huge? It's a web, it's a network, and we need majority of the artists. We need all our artists to think about it this way. You know what I mean?
It's like one time Protege said to me, him say, I think I asked a question, I'm like, yo, do you think that they'll ever dissolve bands where artists can now travel without bands, you know? More money in it. And him say, boy, Vision, if I was ever supposed to travel without bands, him say I'd probably be better off than I am now financially because, you know, but he's like, I would never do that.
Compromise yourself.
Because, one, not even that, him loving band members.
Yeah.
You know? And he's just like, it's a thing called loyalty.
Yeah.
You know? I'll never leave them. And him said, and I didn't know, like, that just made me realize, say, yo, you know, because at that point when I first met him, I'm just thinking, yo, I can get to this money, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
but then
right.
when I hear that aspect of it, and I'm like, whoa, it made me realize, say, yeah, it's bigger than just, it's love.
That's why I'm on the line, I'm good.
That's why I'm on the line and them good. You see me? And Jesse's the same way too.
Yeah.
You know, them show people around them love, like the amount of love what Jesse showed me as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, it's different. I'm somebody who never grew up in no music.
Right.
And I was doing my own thing, and for Jesse to because it's always a taboo to be a songwriter. Like, you think that if a songwriter is working with you, it's not your words or
Yeah, it ain't as impactful. Yeah.
No, but I will say this to everybody, that my inspiration comes from the artists that I work with. For me to write a song, it has to come off of the energy of the artist. I can't write that song if I don't have the energy of the artist.
Right.
It won't do what it has to do.
Right.
You know? So when Jesse took a chance and said, okay, Vision is a songwriter, I'm working with Vision, a songwriter, you know? And allowed me to share my music with him and use it, like, he doesn't know what that did for the genre itself.
Right.
It birthed me as a songwriter to birth other songwriters, to work with other great artists, because that's what the industry is about, growing.
Right.
You know? So you have to respect the artists, the producers that say, you know what, we're going to take the risk and try something to better the genre. You know? So, yeah, man, I'm always going to respect them.
Yeah.
And as I tell them all the time, and them know that the blessing, you know, the gift that God has showed me later in my life, He's put me in the path with them.
Yeah.
And whatever I can do to help with my gift, it's there for them. And that goes for anybody else who loves this reggae music and is like, Vision, you have a skill set that we need. I'm here, I'm ready to work.
I dig it.
Ready to work, you know, ready to build this thing.
I dig it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Vision Alexander. By the way, drop the social media for the people. Let me follow you.
Yeah, man. Follow me on Vision the Writer on my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do much Twitter, but my Twitter is Vision KGN8, Kingston 8. But I'm more on the Instagram, you know? And I'm getting into the TikTok now. So if you follow me upon the Vision the Writer, you'll see all of my handles. But yeah, follow me, yo. I want you to follow my journey. If you're a songwriter, upcoming producer, like, I spit little jewels here. Like, as soon as I learn it, I try to teach it. Because each one teach one. Yeah. I ain't bashful with it. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I learn something and I've used it and I'm like, okay, it brought me some type of success, I'm ready to share the jewels with you. So follow me. Because I'm trying to teach, you know, and maybe one might teach me something, you see me? So I'm really open to that. I'd love for you to follow me. So I can follow on the block. And we can make it work.
I love that. God, you large up, hope, large up. Everybody watching and listening from near and far, make sure you go ahead and follow Vision. Trust me, there's a lot to learn. Bro, let me tell you something. We can do this for over long, you know. I'm not telling no lie. And I'm going to give your flowers to your props too. Most of the time when I'm sitting and enjoy having a reasoning with somebody, it's normally the elders, because I do dig learning at the feet of the elders, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always feel like I walk away more enlightened, you know what I'm saying? And as a young OG mega card, you know, I feel the same way, you know what I'm saying? And on behalf of the audience listening and watching too, I know a lot of people can take a lot. So guess what? Me casa su casa, make sure you pass through again, come check with.
Definitely.
I don't know where on the line them good. That's how the thing set up.
I love to bring Jesse over here, so even Sean. Yeah, you need to get Sean on this.
I had Sean was in, but it was Sean, Echo, and I can't remember the name, and it was 3 of them.
Okay.
But yeah, we bring him through. We have a conversation, because again, you know, we talk to the artists, but I do feel like the conversations like this is way more important. You know what I mean? We can promote music all we want, and I mean that was what radio is for. But you know, we can do that. Come through with whomever. Jesse, like I said, I had a nice little convo with Jesse, but those are people who I don't mind talking to on the regular, because there's always something to learn.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
And whomever you feel like pass through with. Sometimes we do the acoustic sessions too.
Oh yeah.
We set up the instrument that auto tune and that's optics. but more time we got the keyboards there, the guitarists there, and I would do live acoustic joints up in here too.
You didn't make me do a job for you before I leave, yo.
Bro, we trust me, microphones, everything that everywhere.
I'll do a job before I leave.
You can do live. You can do.
Let's do it.
Bruh, you can do it live.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is your word. It's your word. Go ahead, do your thing.
You don't know, say vision for the musical mission and das in G. Cole. You see me, hear me now? I want 100 pound, a greatest reach my foot right now. Now gonna lie that tune are good right now. Indigo sativa, hope say you reach ya. Both on a healer, still no cure enough asthma. Book it for you send it come, make sure it vacuum seal. Them dog knows are good for smell out every reefer. You don't know you tune into G. Cole alongside Vision Alexandro. Yeah, man.
My bro, another thing we do sometime in the entire radio.
Yeah.
We bring on a good China.
Yeah.
And we drop the instrumentals, right?
Yeah.
And we roll. Kabaka came through, dropped 3-4 on us.
Oh, he gonna drop them.
He gonna drop them.
He gonna drop
so
them.
anytime you're ready, whomever, let me know. Just let me know in advance. The good China gets fired up, and you can drop whatever.
All right, I'm ready.
Know what I mean? Because the folks get to see the real deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's your world, do it, bro. Trust me.
I wanna when I put out that single with Dre, I wanna bring that single up here and debut it with you.
Come through.
Yeah,
and we're gonna drop it on all the platforms.
There we go.
Everybody who's getting it live right now, you save me sometime too, because sometimes I'm on in different markets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a tad. So when I have a nice reason like this, I'll be playing that mess back. So everybody staggered out. You know what I mean?
There we go. Okay.
They're gonna save me like tomorrow too, you know.
But I just want to tell everybody, look out for new albums, from Julian Marley. You know what I'm saying? Next year going to be an amazing year for reggae music. Jesse, we're working on an album with Jesse. We're actually working on 2 albums with Jesse.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody was so intrigued with the first album, Royal album got nominated. So we said we just have to do it twice. You see me? So right now, thrice. So right now, we're working on 3 albums with Jesse. Look out for Joe Mercer Marley album.
You on that too?
Yeah, that one is gonna be amazing. You know what I'm saying? Romain Virgo, I'm part of that as well. Look out for something with Romain. Romain got some fire next year. Leela Ike. No,
that's my favorite artist right now.
That album, look out for that. But also look out for Jazzalise.
Major.
Okay?
Major.
So reggae music there has how can I forget Jamiri Morgan's album?
Jameer is my dude.
Right? There's reggae is alive and well, and there's a lot of big music dropping next year, not a lot of big albums for y'all to go and support, to stream from your favorite artists. There's a lot of music, and that's just to name a few, you know what I'm saying, of people that I've been working with, On the hip hop side, big up to Y Sharif from Double MG, you know what I'm saying, Maybach Music. Big up Third World Don, you know what I'm saying? Kano, the whole crew, Chevy, you know what I'm saying, Double MG. Yeah, man, Lioness Entertainment, hip hop side is all love as well. You see me? Reggae, hip hop is all one family. So we represent for everybody, you know what I'm saying?
I love that.
All right.
Say no matter, you diversify the whole portfolio.
We
going
work.
everywhere.
We work. When I write music, you better best believe. Best believe.
Bro, I dig it. And best of luck on all of those projects. Again, you mentioned Jesse. I remember I was rooting for that album so much. This year, my horse in the race is Kabaka. That's my horse in the race this year. Oof. So I'm you know what I mean? So,
Kabaka album was, what I love about Kabaka albums is that he has everybody on it.
Everybody.
He has everybody in it.
Nobody. As a matter of fact, I did a whole blog write up on that, right? Because anytime something come out and it moves me that kind of way there, I think there's only 5 up there right now. 1 from Alba Rosie, 1 from Berris, 1 from D Brown, Agent Sasko, and then we got this one up there, right? When it moved me, but I have to stop in the middle of it and I start writing, right? The Kabaka P, you just mentioned you got everybody on it. What I dig is this: he's got everybody on it, right? But even the ones that he's on by himself, still right.
Oh yeah, it's a great solid body of work. Yeah. Like listening to his album, I'm like, you can tell a lot of work was put in. Well, you have Damien behind the scenes, so, but he definitely executed. Stephen Marley, I'm an artist, so the calling was Stephen on that hook. That was just like it for me, Listening to Protege album, I think Protege album is a classic.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah, Third Time's a Charm is a classic.
Yeah.
It's a different vibe, but it's something that's very special. Coffee, you don't know, she always delivers.
I love that. The kid's a star.
Yeah, Coffee's on another level. Sean Paul's album, like he just came because I just saw Sean Paul on the red carpet. We're all there the other day waiting for the nomination. So then for him to have another album, right, Black to Black, I know he's nominated again is dope.
Yeah.
Shaggy with the Frank Sinatra vibe.
Right.
Like I love what Shaggy does because he always finds a different way to cut through to
Something
bring
way
reggae.
out there, you're like,
something
what?
way out there, but it's so important for reggae music. Who else is nominated? Who's the next nominee? Is that all of them?
Coffee, Sean Paul, Shaggy, Kabaka,
Protege.
That's it.
Yeah, so I think this lineup is very strong. I
It can go anyway.
He can go anywhere, I mean.
And we ain't gonna be mad either, because normally every year we're vexing them.
We're vexed. This year, we can't, me I root for Protege still. You see me? I root for Protege. But it's like whoever wins, it's gonna be amazing. They all deserve it.
Well, I'm rooting for you, is what it is. I mean,
I'm not on that album though. I'm not on none of these albums. No, I'm not on any of these albums.
Alright, so I'm going back. I root for Kabaka.
I root for all of them, yeah, man. Cause guess what? It's the market share, and whoever win, we're gonna have a party and celebrate them music, and everything are gonna be a joy.
The energy that's gonna be around the winner this year is gonna be unlike ever. Because even when Gone win for over Chronics, people are like, I don't want to go. Every year it's something like that, right?
Yeah.
But this year, I think people are just like, yeah. Whomever gets it,
yeah,
I'm gonna support that one.
Yeah, because it's more of a Jamaica win.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't really be like that, because it wouldn't be mad if you had like a California band in the nomination as well.
I think it brings it up.
It brings it up. Stick Figure, I think, could have gotten a nod because they had great numbers. And
was it submitted though? Because
they all.
I wondered if after the uproar last year, some people I love them this year.
No, them submit. Everybody
submitted.
And what's sad is that most of the submissions this year were very low. I don't know why. Like we never submitted. Like the year when we got nominated was like 100 and something, which is still very low. But this year it was like 60 something got submitted, which is.
And you're right, because generally speaking, I think we had less albums come out, period. But then the submissions were ridiculously low in comparison to many other years. And that's no good. You know what I mean? So we need, that's why when you start mentioning all these great albums coming out next year, I get excited. Not just for my ears, but for the genre.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we need it.
Let me tell you, man, that Julian Marley album.
Ooh, fire.
Let me tell you. You see, it's so hard because I've worked on so many of these albums that I can't be biased. Because, but the work that these artists have put in, it's like they are coming up with a vengeance. It's like they must say, yeah, reggae music, what, dissolve, what? Wait till, and Joe Mercer Marley album. Jeez.
Artistically, that kid's come a long way.
Joe Mercer is a beast.
A long way.
Joe Mercer is a beast in this industry. You trust me, yeah.
He might
do him thing, man. He might do him thing. And we just can't wait for next year, because next year, whole heap of album a drop.
Yeah.
And, Jesse album.
Crazy.
Can't even talk.
Crazy.
I feel like I play all two tune and fight right now.
Oh, it's a sneak peek.
Can't do that. Jesse would have killed me.
It's a Jesse ain't having it.
Yeah,
ladies
man.
and gentlemen, it's Vision Alexander. Brother, give thanks again, first of all, for passing through, man.
Thank you, my
Appreciate
brother.
you, man. Again, we could have done this. We can keep going. I think eventually they're going to kick us off. But
keep
going.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to all of the viewers and everybody. And my brother, you're doing a great thing for the culture, man. You don't even understand what you're doing right now for us, You're doing something that we need, and you deserve your roses for what you're doing, man. And just keep doing it, and it'll grow.
It's growing. I can't complain. You know what I mean? Every time we see, again, we talk about the subscriptions. We go up to 40 different countries in the world subscribing to the podcast. Listen, y'all got better things you could be doing, but you're rocking with me, so I appreciate it.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, Vision Alexander, we got to go.
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole。
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.